Well, hello there, everybody. We are back with another coverage of 2020 Olympiad. Very excited to be here still. We had a long break of 1 hour, but now we are back from some more coverage of Pool A and Pool E. I'm once again here, of course, the whole day already with Anna Muzychuk. How are you, Anna? Still feeling good?
Yes, everything is fine. Thanks. Hello, everyone. Welcome and good morning, America. I'm a Grandmaster Anna Muzychuk here today with Grandmaster Roeland Pruijssers, and we are commentating on Division 2 of FIDE Online Chess Olympiad. Pools D and E are about to start their matches. Roland, are there any teams you consider to be the favorite? In my opinion, England and Hungary have very strong teams. They are playing in Pool E, while it's quite difficult to pick the favorite in Pool D. What do you think?
Yeah, in Pool D, I believe that actually Turkey is one of the favorites. Well, of course, we've got Norway, but Magnus Carlsen, I don't think he's playing for Norway in that team, and that means that they are not one of the favorites. But Turkey is one. I'm 100% sure of that. And that is all actually that I can say. Maybe Serbia has a good lineup. To be honest, I am not 100% sure, but Twitch chat, let us know who your favorites are, of course, and let us know, yeah, who you think will be the winner of Pool D after everything is done. But yeah, as you can see, round three at the moment, and yeah, is there a match that is very interesting to spot? I think Serbia Croatia could be an interesting one. I think they both have a good lineup with a lot of promising players.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Serbia and Croatian, I believe it will be a very close match because both teams are actually quite strong. And who else? Maybe Sweden versus Iceland. I think this may be also interesting one.
Yeah, well, basically every match is of course something to follow. We are still in the beginning of this whole division, and yeah, of course, everything still has to be decided. But I think that Croatia, Serbia could be a very interesting one. But let's first also see what happened in round two. That is what we unfortunately had to miss while we were on our break. So here you go. Norway winning 4.5, 1.5, more or less the Viking clash. Norway versus Denmark. Norway won. Guatemala lost to Turkey, unfortunately, 5.5 half. Ireland losing to Serbia 4-2. Croatia winning 4.5, 1.5. And Iceland winning 4-2 against Chile. So now let's take a quick look at the standings that we got. So Turkey in the lead, Croatia in second place, and Serbia in third place. Turkey only gave away 2 half points or one, I think 2 half points in their matches. So they are so far cruising through the pool. But yet again, we have still one round to go today. And after that, the whole weekend, still 6 more games in this pool. So yeah, we are obviously also still waiting for the games to start. And actually, let me check right now if the games have already started. Nope, they haven't started yet. So let me take a look what we can do.
So first
Yep.
we will cover the last games for today in Pool D, and then we will have 2 rounds from Pool E, as far as I understand the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good mention as well. Yeah, we finish with Pool D, and after that we are going straight for Pool E. Pool E is playing at the same time. They are also starting right now, the round one in their pool. But yeah, we are going to focus on round three, Pool D, and afterwards we are going to cover Pool E. Yeah.
And
So
here we
yeah,
have the games.
yes, we've got some games at least, yeah. And I actually immediately saw a a uh, a legend in the chess game. Miss Pia Cramling is participating for Sweden. You must have played often against Pia, didn't you?
Yes, I have had many, lots of games. I played with Pia. She's a very solid player, and she's former world number one among women.
Yeah.
So yeah, she has been playing chess for more than 45 years for sure, maybe even something like more than 50 years. That's a really long period. And what I like to say about Pia, she's a very charming lady and she has such a passion for chess. She's always ready to analyze any position. And sometimes we young players, we get tired, but Pia, no. I mean, it's amazing.
I don't feel young at all, actually. I feel with all these young players nowadays, with all these children, prodigies in chess, I feel like I'm already some sort of a veteran. But of course, I'm nothing compared to the likes of Pia Cramling. She's been in the chess field for way longer than I am. So, yeah, it was a nice thing to start, I think. And yeah, well, I've got all the games, so I think it would be interesting to try and find the games between Serbia and Croatia. So let me go over here. I think this is one. This is one too. So yeah, this is the big clash on board one. Ivan Saric, former not world, but European champion. Ivan Saric playing with the black pieces against Ivan Ivanisevic. So the clash of the Ivans, I would say, very important, of course, for them to determine who's the biggest Ivan in this event. I'm joking. But D6, weird opening. I haven't seen this opening ever before, I think. So C4, E5, that's kind of logical. After knight C3, bishop B4. Ah, it's this line. Okay, bishop E7.
94.
Have you had any experience with this, Anna?
I didn't play this line with white and I didn't play this line with black, but I know that it exists. And just one more remark, I got a question in the chat, is Pia Anna's mom? Yes, Pia is Anna's mother and Anna is a famous streamer now, so do check her channel.
Yeah, yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch on Twitch. But yeah, what about the position? I've been seeing this before, once before. I think actually one of the big lines here was actually that after b4, don't they usually take on d5? And then
Taking
after
on c5, taking
b6,
on c5, yes, then moving the
right
knight
now.
somewhere. Yes.
So
This is
you've got
the
that.
line.
Oh, I found out the blue colors on the board. There you go. All right, so yeah, two bishop pairs, and but black has got a solid center so far. Nice piece play, and yeah, this was an interesting discussion. I think maybe one and a half or 2 years ago. I think in the English, when of course Magnus also started playing it, and a lot of people had a discussion here. I think actually Anish Giri was one of the biggest leading figures in this whole line. Where
Do you
yeah,
believe it's about this line? Because there is one similar line where the structures looks very similar. Because exactly this line, I'm not sure. I have seen so many games in it.
maybe it's c6 actually. Before on this line, maybe I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure about it.
Okay. Well, me neither, actually. I think the bishop e7, what happened in the game is a perfectly normal move, and Ivan Saric knows his stuff. Of course, he has been a chess professional for a long time, I think. Right, nothing too much going on here. Let's move on to the next game. This seems like a very classical friendship game.
Friend, yes. Friend line of third move, knight c3, knight f6, e5. That's very classical. The lines with a long theory. Knight d4, it's not yet trading the pieces on d4. It's not the most popular approach, but it's quite a normal one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, after all these trades, I believe white may be slightly better because of the better bishop and because of the space advantage, but nothing is clear.
Yeah, I have a hard time judging these type of positions because it's all about tempi, I believe. It's all about who gets there first and who can start the attack here. So white still has a long way to go on this side. So, and this bishop, you actually is not that bad of a bishop because you can trade it off with a5 and at some point bishop a6 to try and get it in exchange for this d3 bishop. Yeah, so I don't think black is worse. Sometimes you can even trade queen with something like queen c5, but I think that the evaluation usually is now that trading queens is good for white because white will have the better endgame, although I'm going to have a hard time explaining why that is. So yeah, I think it's a5 and bishop a6 is simply the nicest way to continue. Otherwise, I was actually going to suggest knight b6 and knight c4. But what do you think of knight c5 here?
Knight c5. Before knight c5 was played, I wanted to speak about the ideas from both sides. You have mentioned some. I can only add that black should attack on the queen side, while white will obviously try to attack on the king side. And the idea for black to attack is something like playing a5, a4, and then pushing a3 or b3, depending on the situation. Knight c5, knight a4, and knight c3 may also be an idea. While for white, let's speak about this move queen e3, why it was played. And the reason for queen e3 is that white gives the d4 square for the knight. And another idea is that perhaps white wanted to play queen h3, attacking the h7 pawn. In case black goes g6, then some plan like queen h6 followed by h4, h5 may be very unpleasant, while if black plays h6, then this will be met by g4, g5. But after knight c5, queen h3, maybe black prepared knight e4. So white decided to go for h4 directly without moving the queen away from the center.
Yeah, I guess we could say that this is a very double-edged position, right? I think both players are going to try and attack, and we'll have to see who is going to be faster, more or less. All right, I say let's move on to the next game. Okay.
Women's board.
Yep. First board of the women's.
First and only.
No, first of the two.
Yeah, first of there is girls board also.
And there's girls board. Yeah. So there's three male boards usually and three female boards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So a little bit of a yeah. I mean, I think the black is fine. I think that white wants to somehow create something on the king side because the bishops are nicely eyeing that, but I don't really see how white can do that.
I'm not so sure about a5 because, well, it stops b4. On the other hand, it weakens the b5 square. So you have to be careful with making such moves. White's plan may be to push c4. So the logical move would be something like rook fd1, preparing it. And then open the center. Then maybe moving the pieces toward the center. So yeah, something of this kind. Oh my God, how many arrows? Not like that.
I wanted to illustrate your point. I mean, everything should move towards the center. So.
Yeah, but yeah. I see white went for a completely different plan with e4, and I'm not sure it was the right approach. Of course, it's
I'm also not a big fan of this, to be honest. I mean,
but I preferred c4.
Yeah, I preferred c4. The problem with e4 is that black has got a few good moves here, in my opinion. Maybe d4 looks good. And also the bishop is kind of blocked at the moment. So I'm not sure that this is the right way. You can also try maybe something like knight h5 and knight f4. So I'm wondering what this move is going to bring. But the question is, of course, how is black going to react with it? Would you play a move like d4 here, for example?
If black could try to make two moves, I mean without captures, just two strategical moves, if they could play d4 and e5, this would have been perfect for black. But the only thing I am concerned about is what's happening if black goes d4 and white plays e5. And I'm not sure what's happening.
I guess
if knight d5, queen e4. attacking on knight 7 and attacking on d4, g6, but this is weakening some squares.
Oh, you can take the pawn, perhaps?
I am not so sure because there are maybe some
Apparently not.
discovered knight moves, unpleasant ones.
Um, I don't know. Maybe just a move like bishop b5 or knight c4. Or just maybe queen
Even just,
g4,
yeah, rook
actually.
e1 or queen g4 or h4.
Yeah, h4 is also good. I'm not sure that d4 is actually the best. This white is going to get some initiative on the king side, I think, with this weakness of g6. So if we go back a few moves, instead of d4, would it maybe be better to play d takes e4, knight takes e4, knight d5?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer. I'm not so sure. I'm checking knight c5 and knight g5.
Oops.
No. I mean,
Oh,
either knight c5 or knight
I was
g5. One of
deeply
them,
here.
not together, please.
Yeah, so knight g5 or taking on c5. Those are two good options here. Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe
correct.
just keep the pressure, not to play d4, not to play d takes e4, but just something solid like I don't know, queen c7 or queen e7
e8.
or knight h5, the move you proposed in the beginning. This may also work
Yeah,
fine.
just try and make take advantage of this
Yeah, like
e4.
e takes d5. Then maybe not knight f4, maybe matched by bishop h7, or maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe
Oh,
not.
that's interesting. King takes,
King
queen
h7, queen
e4.
e4, and I take some of the knights.
Yeah, or you take here, yeah. Yeah, this looks really good. White's probably going to be close to winning here already, so.
But bishop h7, king h8 was a bit unclear. Well, it's a bit complicated. Let's go back and try to find some easier lines for the
Well,
viewers to understand.
well, the black player played d takes e4, knight takes e4, and that's where we are right now. Maybe it's a good idea just to play something like knight d4. What do you think?
Knight d4, yeah, why not? Just trade all the pieces.
Yeah,
Knight
maybe
d4,
that.
bishop d4.
Yeah. Maybe that's simply okay for black.
Maybe that's just equalizing easily. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Anyways, we're still at the start. Let's see the other games. This is board one of the women, and this is board two of the women. So Tijana Blagojevic versus Mirjana Medic. Materials equal. Black has a very nice knight on d5, and white has an isolated pawn on d4. So I guess that black is just very comfortable here.
Black seems to have a pleasant edge because the d4 pawn, yeah, it's isolated pawn, and with isolated pawn, you prefer to have queens on the board, and the more pieces you have, the better. Because with the isolated pawn, you should try to go for some attack, try to get some initiative, because in the end game, it's rather a weak pawn than a strong pawn, and bishop f4 was played, offering more traits. I definitely prefer this position from black side.
Yeah, yeah, me too, absolutely. So, do you think bishop f4 is a good move? It trades off more pieces.
I think black could even wait with this move. And another idea was black could try perhaps to play b5 and bishop c7, bishop b6 to put more pressure on the d4 pawn. Because the bishop on d2, it's not that active, and maybe there was no need to trade immediately.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, yeah, but we can be clear that it's clear that black is in the driving seat here. So okay, let's take a look at another game. So we are now at the youth board. Wow, what's this?
Queen
Yeah,
d1. Seems like a very good move, threatening rook h1. Maybe it's winning. I think it's winning for white
yeah, you
because
cannot stop that. Yeah, if the queen
black
moves over here, then you've got queen
queen
h5.
h5. Oh,
Oof. So what do we do
wow.
here? I think it's just winning for white. So that means for Serbia.
Good start for Serbia.
Look at the time also. Velimir has got seven, almost, well, 6 minutes more at the very least, 6.5 right now. So that's actually kind of impressive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Grandma.
so I
Oh,
can.
he's also a grandmaster, by the way. So let's clarify this also because the ratings that you see behind the names are actually the chess.com ratings and not the official FIDE rating. So actually, I got confused for a moment there because I thought 2256 beating 2508. But if you look, for example, to the titles, then Velimir is definitely the one who is the favorite here because Grandmaster versus International Master. But in any case, yeah, well done for White. White won this game. So let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, and good point about the ratings because we have seen many games today where the players were underrated on chess.com while they are quite high with FIDE ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
We
this is
have,
the last board.
and we have one more result.
Okay.
Someone has just finished the game.
Yeah, that's this
Okay,
game.
this one we have seen, but
Okay,
what about
and
the
this
other one?
one.
Oh, look at this cutie mate on b3.
Oh,
And
oh, oh,
bishop
it was
on
a mate. I didn't
a7.
even
It's
see.
so far, but it's controlling all the important squares.
Yeah, I'll make this green and I'll make this red. Ha, the king is
Oh,
mated. Yeah.
nice picture.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's
Beautiful.
you can play around with colors in chess.com, so it's kind of fun actually. All right, so let's move on. So I think this is the one that we did not cover yet in the Serbia Croatia match. So yeah, first thoughts, who's better and why?
Black is better because they are taking on c3 and the pawn which will come immediately or one move later to c3 will be a weakness. So just play b6, place the knight on c4 or place the rooks over the c file and just attack this pawn for free.
Yeah, I agree. I think black is just a bit better here. Maybe in the long run, even a thing like f6 and e5 is interesting, but
Oh,
for
yes,
now, I
exactly.
would
Long
not do
run.
that.
Yeah,
Just enjoy the open c file, right?
yeah, true.
Okay,
Also,
so
bring the d4 knight closer to the
all right,
center.
actually, we've got a famous grandmaster who's playing at the moment, and that's Mr. Niels Grandelius with the white pieces, playing against Gudmundur Kjartansson from Iceland. So this is board one of Sweden versus Iceland. Um, yeah, what to make of this? I think the knight has good prospects to go here, while this knight does not really have any prospects. So what do you think? Is white a bit better?
Yes, and we can see that a few moves ago, or actually one move ago, White played before what kind of weakened the c3 pawn. But on the other hand, they are creating this nice place for the knight on c5, as it was mentioned, and this is very important. So you have to be careful when you play such moves as before, because if you manage yet to get your knight to c5, it's good. But if not, then it's a bad move because it's weakening the c3 pawn.
Yeah, absolutely true. What do you think could be a potential idea for black then? The only thing that I see, for example, is to play a move like e5 at some point.
E5, e5 looks very reasonable, but maybe white will just not react to that. Maybe white will continue with the plan, playing knight c5. I don't want to play 8x b5. I don't want to trade these pawns because the knight on c5 is actually targeting, eyeing on the a6 pawn, so I prefer to keep it on the board.
Yeah, I agree. I would do that too. The question is though, okay, after knight c5, let's say I play Oh wow, it's actually kind of hard to
It's actually, yeah,
take
even
this
after rook
one.
b6 or queen a7, I may think of taking on a6 and a takes b5.
Maybe you can take anyhow.
Maybe
No,
I
you
can
can't.
take it, yeah.
Now let's just take, and play rook a1.
I
Then,
prefer something simpler. I prefer a more complicated way.
oh, what did you, sorry, did I miss something?
I thought about taking on a6.
I was considering it, but after queen
Maybe it
takes,
doesn't work, yeah.
rook takes,
Um,
I'm not really sure if you have enough for the exchange.
and one more idea was taking on e5 because after queen a7, the queen is under, yeah, under this bishop on
That looks
e3.
that looks really, really bad, yeah. Yeah, so that's actually an important point. If you did not take on if you do take on b5, then black does not have this weakness anymore. So that is more or less what we're playing around with the knight on c5. But okay, Niels in the driving seat. Let's see what the current position is. So knight
If I
c5 played and bishop c8. What do you think about that?
maybe it's the best defense because if a rook b6, then maybe actually knight a6 worked. Could you
Yeah.
just go one move back?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, if rook b6, rook b6, okay, even a5. So let's play a rook a8. But rook a8,
Oh,
then yeah, we can simply take on. But another idea was, yeah, to take on a6 and to take on b5. Maybe we could take on b5 immediately in case of rook a8.
yeah. In any case, it loses everything. Yeah. So bishop c8 is the best move there.
And
Yeah. How to
a5
continue?
played.
Sorry.
A5 was played,
Yeah.
fixing this weakness on
I think
a6.
black. If black plays bishop f8, how would you continue here as white?
Bishop g5. But what is the threat of bishop f8? Are you
There's
going
no
to...
threat. There's no threat. I'm just making a sensible move. Hopefully.
Okay. Maybe bishop g5, pointing that the bishop is not on g7 and you don't have f6.
Okay.
Okay. Queen d2.
Yeah, it's hard to picture what black is going to do here, actually. E takes d4 opens up the c file, while e4, yeah, doesn't really help black in any way. Yeah? Maybe this is best, though. Okay, white is clearly better because of the knight, but yeah, it's still a long way to go, I think. Yeah?
Maybe let's quickly check some other games and then we get back to this game
Yeah,
so that we are
sounds like
able,
a
yeah, to see more
perfect
games.
idea.
Oh,
Tiger Hillop
wow.
person against
Wow.
Gutarsson. What do you think? Wow, this is white is a pawn up, but black has there are opposite colored bishops, and the king side is a bit destroyed. Right?
That's true. Yeah, the king is a little bit weak, but the b5 pawn is very strong.
Yes.
And also white has some pressure on the f7 pawn. It's not so obvious at the moment, but potentially, yeah. If the rook is coming to d7, then black can't move the rook from f8, so there may be some problems with this
Yeah.
f7 pawn.
Exactly. I think that white is just a lot better here. Maybe black can maybe play something like queen b4, queen takes a4 ideas. Um, yeah, that might be interesting actually. A move like queen b4.
But it's white to move, so
Yeah. So what would be a good move here? A move like rook d7.
maybe rook d7, we can try that.
So queen b4. Maybe no. Wait, this pawn is under attack. This pawn is under attack. Oh, actually, I think you can take the pawn.
Take, and queen a7.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nice.
Tricks. I
Nice.
play way too much Puzzle Rush. I'm addicted. I cannot help it. But probably, actually, if the king just goes somewhere, let's say you go here, but you still have got some problems here. So
Okay,
Actually,
just
I'm just
f5,
thinking.
trying to get rid of one weakness.
Yeah, that's true. That's
My
true. So
five
after
can
this, white
pawn.
can play f5, maybe.
Yeah, but queen a4 attacking the rook.
No, there you go.
Maybe not the best idea.
Maybe not. But okay, it's yeah, what would you play then? Maybe queen h4? Please take on a4.
Oh, thank you so much. So much. You're so kind.
Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, that's painful, you know. Take on the 8 and it's let's tease a little bit. Ah, check, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Check.
check
Oh,
and
and let's
back.
do another one and then oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This was nice. Nice tricks. Okay, I guess white is better, but positionally speaking, it's not that much yet, right? I mean,
Yeah,
black
maybe.
has got a good pawn on b5, but there are still some weaknesses in the position.
Maybe some idea like rook c6, queen b4, and rook c4, protecting both of the pawns.
It's a little passive, but
Yeah, it's a little passive. It's not like I like it so much, but just some suggestion. Yeah,
yeah,
black
maybe it's
definitely
the
has some
best one.
compensation for the pawn. It's not so easy
Yeah,
for white.
it's not so clear. Right, let's take a look at another match. Let's once again see how Pia is doing.
You sacrifice the pawn on f5, but it's a very typical sacrifice because now if black takes, I don't know if we start from bishop c4 or we go rook g7 directly. I prefer to start with bishop c4
Alright.
and let's
E6? No. King goes, no. Oh no. Oh
king
hell.
no.
King,
King e8 or e6.
well, E6 I really don't like because you're opening up the seventh rank so much. I think it's King E8. Scratch that. The computer really does not
Just maybe
agree.
just rook g8, knight f8, and bishop g7.
Yeah, this looks over actually. Yeah,
Maybe
that's
you
the truth.
had to play e6. Maybe you don't want it,
It's
but you had
so
to play.
painful to allow this rook to all the
Okay.
open seventh rank, you know, it's
King
great.
e8, still rook g8.
Would you like a draw?
No, I like to take the rook on c8 and take another
I'll
pawn
take
on
back.
a6.
You know what? Yep. That wins material, yeah. So actually after rook g8, I probably have to play king e7.
Maybe now you could play knight f8 because after bishop g7, if you use the same idea, then you can play king. Can you play king f7?
Oh, wait, can I do this? No, I can't. I wanted to take here somehow. Wait.
I'm also trying to make it work, but I'm not sure it's possible.
Nah, I guess we have to take like this. Maybe we have something here. No, I think we have to take like this. And now do something smart. Hey, what about this pawn ending?
Pawn ending, yeah, I'm not sure. Rook c3, king c3, take,
That's
take.
just a draw, right?
Oh, it's difficult to say. It's a draw. You need some time to calculate this.
What
King
do you
c.
think, Chet? Is this a win or a draw for white? Let us
Please
know.
help us because because we have been streaming since morning. So yeah.
Um, yeah, it's interesting. Let's go back for a little bit because you can also play rook g7 immediately, perhaps. Yeah? Or actually, let's see what Pia did. Bishop takes e6, rook g7, king e8, bishop takes. Ah, that's nice. That's nice. That just wins a pawn. Yep, that's perfect.
Cool. Yeah.
It does win a pawn, yeah. Yeah,
Rook a8. And then we have bishop
but,
b5, or we have rook g8 also.
followed by a4. That's a
Let's do
full
it.
pawn up for white.
True.
Nice. This is looking good for Pia. Yeah, we've got some other results as well. Let's check a few. We've got I think this is board 6. Yeah, I think this is board 6. And this seems to be a repetition of moves. Both players were content with the draw. Once again, everybody, don't be fooled by the ratings that you see here. Those are chess.com ratings, not the official FIDE ratings. So yeah, just a reminder there. All right, and that's the only one. Let's go back to, this is a nice mate.
Almost in the center of the board.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, queen e4, queen takes on f5, and it's a mate. So this was a good game from Urkedal, Freude Urkedal, against the Chile gang. All right. So let's see. Let's go back once to the.
Yeah, let's check someone who is still playing.
Yep. All right. Let's check what this went.
Wow.
Oh, a lot has happened. Savic is a pawn up. No, it's not a pawn up. But actually, isn't. No, I don't know. Wait.
But I don't like the rook on d6. It's like the active rook, but it's also like a bit of a trapped rook. Yeah, just
A little
king
bit,
is
yeah.
7, and if you bring the rook to b6, then perhaps rook a3 is coming.
Maybe you can even trap it like this. So if white's not careful, then yeah, your rook is screwed. So yeah, but that's of course not going to happen. But it's just an idea. Let's see.
King d8, maybe d6.
I'm sorry. Rook b6. Rook a3 is played.
Yeah, d6 and king f6. That's what I wanted to make.
Yeah, so black is going to run with these pawns over the board. Is there a way to stop them?
Maybe to play rook b7. Ah, it was played. If rook b3, rook d7, then rook d3. And now,
yeah.
Do you have time to play king e2? I'm not sure. King e2, b3, rook b7, rook d5.
I think you do have time, but you will lose the d2 pawn.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like. We can quickly show this line, yeah. b3, rook b7, rook d5. King d1, b2, king c2, rook d2. King b1, and well, at least rook d6, and then also taking one more pawn. But maybe it's the best line for white. I'm not sure.
It might be. I'm also not really sure. But let's see. So rook, king e1 played, b3, rook b7, rook d5.
Ah, it's the same.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get this on the board, actually. Also, keep in mind the time control, everybody. It is, they get 5 seconds increment per move, but still that means that they are in time trouble. Yeah, we've seen already some players who run out of time and actually had to resign, sometimes in even winning positions. So, yeah.
Yes, while you were talking, I thought, but what to do if king d1 and rook c5?
Oh, okay, so king d1, rook c5.
King. With the pawn on d6, there was rook c7, but that didn't help because b2, b1 was with that check.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just
this looks very good. This looks winning for black. Yeah, so let's see if that's gonna happen on the board. So king e7, king d1. Oh, b2 played,
B2.
actually.
But what
Missed chance. Missed chance, I think. I think that your suggestion was better.
Perhaps it's still winning, but rook c5 is winning in
way more clean.
Easier way.
Yeah, rook endings, you never know what's gonna happen, yeah?
Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't. You know, it's like a lottery.
A little bit, yeah. I think, well, now f5 is falling and b2 as well. So how would you play this for? Okay, g6. I do have rook d3.
White will take the pawn on h7 or b7.
Yeah.
But now white is fighting. After rook c5, white could just resign.
Now it's not so clear anymore, no. All right, let's see if I can find something really interesting. Let's see. Nope, nope. Nope, nope. Yeah. Okay, this looks like fun. I don't know. So this is board one, Turkey against Ireland.
How do you manage to find these games?
I don't know. Is this
But it's
interesting
Queen
though? I
G5
think
and Rook
it's
D4 mate on the
yeah.
board. No?
I think it's just over, right? Just King H8, Rook D4, like you said.
Rook H4. But
C'est
looked very
fini.
cool.
It is over. Why am I speaking French? Okay, let's go to. I'm not even speaking French. Never mind. Okay,
Another game.
go another game. This one. Yeah, never
Okay,
mind.
this is a bit boring.
Yeah.
This one, okay,
Knight
there
in
should be
two.
mate in two.
All right. Next one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we could talk about this.
This one.
So, what is this?
Does black have any chances? I'm not sure.
Bishop E8 is an idea.
Bishop E8. Bishop E8 was not played.
You can't
Maybe
play
the bishop
King
was
G.
too far. Maybe A6.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I thought bishop G3. Yeah, if bishop E8, I was trying to calculate A6, bishop G6, king G4.
But bishop E8 and bishop C6, but at least you get the G bishop, yeah? That sounds good.
Yeah, because yeah, black has to give the bishop, otherwise we will.
And this should be winning because you have two passed pawns, and you just start marching them, and then either this bishop or that king is going to be too much occupied, yeah?
Yeah, should be winning because the pawns are too far from each other.
No, I agree. So bishop E8, maybe not the best move, but yeah, I mean, white is simply two pawns up. White can simply play this, so.
But
Well,
maybe
95?
just knight E5 and taking the bishop.
Yeah, that is what happened in the game, and okay, it seems that white is going to win this. The player from Denmark, Oksana Krieger. Right. Do I have something interesting for you?
A rook ending? Are we
Okay,
going?
you asked it. Here you go.
Oh, that's it. Oh, wow. Not so easy for white, but let's try to find some chances. So it's white to move. Okay, yeah, if it was black to move.
Yeah.
How to save this game?
Looks lost, actually. The only thing that I can come up with is rook d1.
Rook g1, king f4, rook g2.
Rook g2.
King f3, rook g3.
Yeah,
the
but
problem
black
is that
can
the
maybe
king is
play
too far
rook
away.
I'm sorry?
The king is too far away. If you had the king on g1, it would be an easy draw. But with the king on b4, yeah, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thanks.
Yeah, that takes a long time, yeah. But actually, this rook g1, rook d2 move is very hard to find, I believe. So we can check if Ivan is going to find that one. Yep, rook g1 played, king f3. This is actually on the board.
That's on the board. So yeah, Ivan is trying his best. Rook c8, cutting the king.
Rook f2, good move. Yeah, but how to defend this? I mean, black's plan is just gonna be king h4 and then g3.
Difficult to say. Is it the only game running?
Yeah, this is the only game left.
So rook d7. But what about... okay, rook c2 will be met by rook h7.
Yeah. Wow, white is really finding all the resources. This is really hard. I mean, he's also on increment, more or less, so... These are not easy moves to find, especially in time trouble. But still, I mean, all black needs to do is to push this pawn and then start pushing the other pawn, and black is winning, so... Yeah, White's doing a good job disrupting everything, but I'm not sure that White can hold this. It looks actually kind of lost still.
King e3 or king e4?
King f5.
Maybe g3 now. Just g3, 8 takes g3 and king g4.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
No, black doesn't want that.
that looks winning actually.
And black wants to win without any sacrifice, but please, g3. Go,
It should be g3.
please.
Rook c5, and next you're gonna take here. Should be winning. The king is still cut off. The king is in front of the pawn. It should be winning for black. You're gonna build the bridge, and everything is gonna be all right. But okay, let's check what is going on in the game. And actually, everybody, if you're
g3
curious
played.
about the scores, take a look on the
Finally.
left. What? He played?
g3 played.
Hey, let's go. Okay, dun, 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 dun. And it's on the board.
Yeah, rook f5. Yeah, now it's hopeless for white.
Yeah, now it should be over. Resignation could come in any moment now. Actually, no, this should be over. Yeah, just king h3, g3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or this. It's fine. King
Load or
g4, king g2, g3.
and
So we're
then the
winning.
bridge.
Yeah, so everybody, this is actually the last game of this round. This is the only game still going on. So take a look on the left where you can see some of the results. So Norway wins against Chile. Sweden wins against Iceland 4-2. Serbia, Croatia. So this game doesn't really matter actually because Serbia has already won the match with 3.5, 1.5 so far. Turkey winning against Ireland, 4.5, 1.5, and Guatemala. Ooh, that's nice. Winning 4-2 against Denmark. I consider that an upset. That's something very, very surprising. And actually, everybody, since this game doesn't matter for the standings and for the match results anymore, we are gonna go on a short break. And actually, we once again have a surprise for you. So don't go anywhere. In a few minutes, we will be back with a surprise.
A nice surprise is waiting for you, so please stay tuned. We will be back just in a few minutes. See you.
And we are back, everybody. And here's our surprise. We've got Grandmaster Niels Daly with us for a small interview. So welcome to the broadcast, Niels. How are you feeling about all the games so far?
I mean, so far it's, I think, pretty much like expected. We won against two lower-rated teams and lost against second seed. So it's okay. It's nothing special, but we are not that dissatisfied.
Yeah, and how do you feel in general about your chances to qualify for the next division? Do you think you have a good shot?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are seeded number 3, and 3 teams are qualifying. So definitely, but it's a very even group, and I think teams number 4 and 5 are also very decent teams. So yeah. I mean, it's not for granted at all, but definitely chances.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. So far, good results. What do you think in general about this whole tournament, about the format, about the 6 boards? Could you share your thoughts on that a little bit?
I mean, it's a bit different than what we are used to, for sure. In some sense, it's nice because now you are everyone in the sort of squad is fighting for each other, rather than in the normal Olympiad where maybe the men stick to themselves and the women to themselves. So in that sense, it's quite nice. And for us, I mean, specifically, we have very decent female players. So we are definitely benefiting from this with Pia Cramling and in Agrest. So personally, it's good for us. And otherwise, no, it's an interesting idea. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, it's really. I am very glad that Pia is playing, and we covered some of her games. And by the way, Niels, congrats on your result today. You won 2 games, and you made one draw, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yes.
So far, so good. And how about the team spirit in your team?
So I mean, we just started, so I don't know, but no, it seems good. Now, of course, it's not as fun as when we are everybody together and like in a
Yeah,
normal
of course.
tournament. I
Yeah.
mean, but this is like we have gotten used to this by now after half a year. No, team spirit is okay. I mean, we are definitely fighting for each other, not only for ourselves. So it's okay, but it's hard to tell because we are all at home. So
Yeah, that's of course the big difference here. Yeah, do you think it's really different to play online versus over the board?
yeah, it's a lot different. Well, first of all, it's very difficult to play classical chess online. Like I have never actually done it, but in general, it's almost impossible, I feel, to do. So I mean, this time, this rapid instead, that's already quite different. But also otherwise, I think like for sure the strongest players over the board are still the strongest online. But but no, I mean, it's a bit more boring. But what can we do? Yeah, it's still chess, which we still love. So.
Of course, yeah. No, it's for me personally, it's like that such an event can even be continue because of course, what's happening around the world right now. It's already an amazing feat. So, yeah. With that, we're gonna say, well, thank you for sharing your thoughts and for speaking a few words with us. Yeah. So, thank you very much for being on the broadcast, and we wish you all the best, of course, in the future rounds.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Yes, for you and for your team as well. We are actually rooting for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, I hope you guys like that surprise. Well, it's always good to hear about their personal experiences, of course. It's amazing and very nice of them to actually join the broadcast and share a few words with them. With us, of course, yeah. So, hope you liked it. And now let's move on towards the standings, of course. The results of Pool D, especially, they are finished at the moment. So, as you can see, Turkey is doing quite well with 6 out of 6, as well as Norway, as well as Serbia. And then Croatia and Sweden are close behind to that. And of course, we just had Niels Grandelius, the #1 player of Sweden, joining the broadcast for a little bit. And round Pool E, let's also take a quick look at that. England won, Hungary won, and I think we are going to see actually what happened in the first round in Pool E. So there you go. Bolivia lost 1.5, 4.5 against Ecuador. Costa Rica lost 1-5 against Hungary. Mexico lost half, 5.5 to England. Argentina beating Scotland 3.5, 2.5, and Colombia beating Montenegro 3.5, 2.5. Yeah, so here are the standings. As you can see, England won, Hungary won, Ecuador won, Argentina won, Colombia won. This is sounding very monotone, isn't it? But that's actually what happened. So yeah, and then you've got all the other teams on 0 points, which lost their match. So we are going to continue after the break with Pool E, round 2 and round 3. So don't go anywhere. Grab some popcorn. Yeah, like I said, pet the dog. I don't know, splash some water in your face. We need you fresh. We need you focused on all the games. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
That 2 in Pool E will start just in a few minutes. We will be back very shortly.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome, everybody, for this broadcast, this Olympia 2020 broadcast. Once again, we are back, of course, with more chess for you. The day is not over. We've been doing this for about, what is it, Anna? I think about 7 hours already of broadcasting with breaks even. So, but yeah, we're not even close to the finish. So, yeah, here a quick reminder, everybody, what the format is in this tournament. Well, yeah, I think we've seen this card a few times already, but here you go again. It's a really big event with 163 teams and over 1,500 players from around the world. And yeah, teams are split into divisions, and right now we are in Division 2. It's going like the lower the number of your division, the better the teams usually are. And we are moving on to the top division, I think already next weekend, and there we will see who will qualify for stage 2. And that will mean the medals and the prizes. So yeah, we still have got a long road to go. Teams feature 2 open boards, 2 women's boards, 1 junior male board, and 1 junior female board. So actually, Anna, what is your thoughts on the team composition there with the 2 open boards, the 2 women boards, and the 2 youth boards? What are your thoughts on that one?
It's an unusual format, and I am not sure it's good to use this format for offline Olympiads, because Olympiad, it's like some a top level event. But to use it for online Olympiad, I think it was a great idea to give the chance for the young players to show their skills and perhaps even to try to play versus stronger opponents, and also the idea of uniting a team so that you don't have a separate open Olympiad and a separate women's field, but we have it united, so men are supporting women, women are supporting men, and I think it's a really cool and I really like it.
Yeah, me too. Everything you just said, I totally agree with that. So actually, would you like to see an event like this in the future? Or would you maybe see this type of format in every Olympiad in the next coming years?
In the next common offline Olympiads, I mean, I don't know, it's like a long way. And yeah, let's first try to finish this one and then hear all the feedbacks, all the comments, if people liked it. The only problem about it is that we are trying to cover all the teams. All the teams are playing online, and with all this format, it kind of lasts a little bit too long. Well, maybe not only a little bit, but it lasts over a month. And yeah, it's like normally you would have finished 3, 4 tournaments in the same period.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
But well, during the lockdown, I think it's great that we have, chess every day covered. And yeah, when it's Olympiad.
Yeah, I agree there as well. I do think it is something really to consider though to bring this format also in future Olympiads because but okay, in the previous Olympiads I think there was a separate women's team and there was also a separate men's team, I believe, or like an open for and women's team. So I'm not too sure. I like that it's a combined thing that is. And so I would be maybe already an advocate for doing this team composition also in future events, and maybe even as a replacement of the old Olympiads. But of course, I'm not gonna decide on that. It's not mine to say. And actually, there are experts who are, of course, checking all this stuff if it's a good idea or not. Everybody in the chat, let us know what you think. Do you think this format is something for the future? Or do you think that it's only because it's an online tournament that this is good? Would you rather have the separate open and the separate women's team? Let us know in the chat what you think about that. And in the meantime, we're going to talk a little bit about um, well, the rounds actually, we haven't discussed what matchups we are going to have. Is there a matchup that really catches your eye, Anna?
So we have Ecuador playing versus Montenegro, Scotland versus Colombia, England versus Argentina, Hungary versus Mexico, and Bolivia versus Costa Rica. I believe we should definitely keep an eye on England and Hungary because these two teams are the two favorites. While I think yes, these two matches are the most important for the standings.
All right, your wish is my command. I shall find some English games for you. And here we've got Jovanka Houska playing with the white pieces versus Maria Jose Campos from Guatemala. I'm sorry, not Guatemala, Argentina, of course. Yeah, this is once again a Yobava London opening, isn't it?
Yeah, London system, and it started with some unusual move order, a little bit unusual.
A little bit, yeah. It's like d4, knight f6, postponing knight c3, and only after b6, knight c3 was played.
But it makes a lot of sense because knight b5 may be the threat, and also and also d5 may be the threat. So it's not so easy.
Is knight b5 really an asset in these positions, though? Like, for example, if I play bishop b7, is knight b5 really that strong?
Why not? Let's try.
All right, that was my idea. Let's see. What if I play something like knight d5 here?
My idea was to play knight d6.
All right, so I take, and now white has got a good bishop pair. So this is good for white. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna try and okay. What do you do if I play d6?
I take on c5.
No, yeah. Never mind. Okay, yeah, that's really good. Let's see. I could play knight a6, maybe.
But
Just
at
to
least knight
prevent-
d6. I really think knight b5 is the threat.
Okay.
So maybe black shouldn't allow that as.
I agree.
So there are some problems after knight b5.
Yeah, so it's better to play a move like knight h5 or what else? Yeah, I guess knight h5 would be okay.
Maybe knight h5. Yeah, because if black makes some slow move like a6, then I believe d5 is coming.
Maybe this is not a problem. Maybe you can just play bishop b7 here.
e4. Do you like it?
No, I don't.
Just a question.
Never mind. Well, you do have b5 and b4 perhaps, but it's yeah, it's very, very complicated, of course. All right, but this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's keep an eye. Okay, what this is different. Okay, yeah. So c takes d4, knight b5. Yeah, so this is the move that you wanted to prevent, and d6 played though.
d6, queen d4.
Queen takes d4.
5, just take and knight c7, and that's it.
Yeah, that's game. Yeah, that hurts. Yeah, that is not nice. Okay, yeah. So black is in a lot of trouble after queen takes d4. Let's see if that happened in the game. Yep.
Because I don't see the way to defend the d6 pawn. Yeah, queen d4 played by Jovanka. Nice. So maybe knight d5 is the only move. But
then bishop goes, I guess.
But it doesn't sound so healthy for black.
Now there might be some problems, but okay, if you play bishop g3, then black's gonna play knight c6, chase the knight away. Maybe it's not that bad then. So maybe it's something like bishop takes
bishop d6. Yeah, I was trying to make this idea work. Bishop d6, queen g7, rook f8, and something like long castle.
Yeah, just go for it. Long castle takes e4. Just
maybe it doesn't
blow the
work.
position open.
But
yeah,
maybe it works.
It looks like it's working, right? It's like knight g5, knight x7 is an idea, e4, terrible threat, or c4 at some point. This looks really, really good for white, really dangerous at the very least.
Roland, do you know what is the benefit of commentating? Because you can suggest any move and you are not responsible for it.
It's wonderful, isn't it? It's the best thing about commentating. Yeah, you can suggest anything and just say, yep, let's try this. Yeah, it's the best thing about being a commentator, absolutely. But yeah, do you want to go nuts?
Let's go back a little bit.
Right, let's move on to another game. So England, I think this is board one. Famous grandmaster, of course, Mickey Adams playing with white against Pablo Ismael Acosta, a number one player of Argentina. Um, yeah, h3 gives up the bishop pair. Is that a big deal in this position?
Maybe he had no choice because he wanted to avoid knight g4, and for this reason he played h3. I prefer white's position, and what I would also like to add, I think this position really suits Michael Adams' style. I think he likes his position at the moment because he has a very stable position. There will be some strategical battle, and this is the type of the game he's really strong at.
Okay, well, then good chances for Mickey Adams. How would you continue though? Let's say black plays a move like b6. I guess you want to play f4 or something else?
Wait. Okay, I can't really save the bishop from d3 because the pawn on c4 is hanging, so I can't play bishop b1 because of queen c4. So I'll have to give this bishop. I would prefer to go, yes, f4, maybe knight d3, queen takes d3. And if the bishop moves to b7, then maybe some ideas with f5 may work at some moment.
Yeah, try to undermine this, and if black plays e5, then you've got a very nice square on d5 to work with. Yep, looks once again yeah, better for white. White has the stable space advantage, and yeah, looks good. Maybe even at some point g4, g5, but we'll see. Okay, let's move on to another one. So this is board two. Mr. David Howell with the black pieces against Francisco Javier. Yeah, what's happening here actually? The opening looks familiar, but I don't really recognize it.
It looked familiar, but when I saw the line, I understood that it's not the familiar opening.
It's a Panov opening. All right.
Yes, 7, 6.
It's a Panov going right, yeah, for white.
And
Wow, that rhymed. I did not do that on purpose. All right, queen b6, and now something like, I guess b3, queen c2.
b3, knight c5.
Would you pick black or white here? What's your first thought?
I think computer evaluates such positions as about equal, but I believe it's easier to play with white, especially in the rapid game.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of bishop c3 though. It looks very, very passive at the moment. I mean, you are protecting the b2 pawn, but you are also not really doing anything with that bishop. So I would have rather b3 would have been nicer, I think.
Yeah, there are some pros and cons because bishop c3 on one side, as you say, it's like a passive bishop at the moment. It also covered the c file for the rook, so for this reason we would prefer to have the bishop on d2. On the other hand, if white played b3, this could be a target, and black could later on play a4, and perhaps for that reason white didn't want to hurry with b3.
Yeah, maybe queen c2 would have been a very good move then or something.
Queen c2, okay, but bishop c3, it's not a bad move, I would say.
Okay, let's see then. So bishop c3. Yeah, but still, you might want to just take that off and open up the position. Like, for example, if you take right now, b takes, and at some point get c5 in, that pawn structure is gonna hurt you a little bit, but maybe it's not that bad actually, because opening up the position is actually quite difficult, I guess. If c5, then yeah, all white's rooks are very active. Okay, yeah, maybe bishop c3 is just a very logical move here. Okay, let's see what happened. Oh, no moves after this, so let's move on to the next one then. If you...
Easy, let's go.
All right, let's go. Whoa.
Wow. What's that?
There's a knight on b7.
Yeah, thanks for pointing because it wasn't so clear. How did this knight come to b7?
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at how this happens. So this is a Rosalimo, and after d takes d3. Yeah, the big Carlsen discussion, Carlsen Caruana with b4. Okay, knight of fate. Okay, b5 was played. Knight on a5. That knight is very good there. And here, knight b7 to attack with c takes b4. And here, I think black made a mistake with c4. White took, short castle, and if black took back, then white had knight d6 with devastating effect, grabbing all kinds of pawns here. Okay, so black played short castle. Yeah, I guess the black is just in a world of trouble here. I think white is a clear pawn up at this moment. But do you think black still has some chances here?
You always have some chances before the game is ended. So, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But white's position is much better.
I meant like in to get equality or something like that. Is there
Well,
maybe a way?
in case white goes c5, maybe black can start the attack by playing f4 and then pushing g5, g4. Something of this kind. That's why I don't like c5 so much. Maybe it's not like the bad move, but I believe there is something stronger. Maybe
What about I don't know, maybe knight c5, maybe queen d6.
Yeah, queen
maybe
d6.
e takes what? Queen d6, yeah?
Yeah, maybe queen d6.
6. Yeah, because f takes e4 runs into knight takes e4. Or actually not even, you can
Yeah,
also
just knight d2. Bring another knight to d4, to e4.
Yeah, it's just looking very, very good for white, yeah? White does have, white's a pawn up, has very active knights. The only problem could be if black's bishop suddenly starts opening up. So that's something that white needs to worry about. Well, that's all. White is doing very, very well, it seems. Yeah. Okay, so on the board, queen d6, and maybe we'll get what we actually discussed on the board. Okay, let's move on. Ooh, these are always interesting to follow. Yeah, like both white's attacking on this side, moving the pawns like this, while black is advancing on this side, moving the pawns like this. So have you played the English opening like this ever, Anna?
I was getting such type of positions with black pieces because sometimes I played Dutch defense.
Very good choice.
Yes, e4, f5, and then sometimes white allowed me to push e5, and then yes, I was having this type of structure, g5, and I was going for an attack. f4, g4, h5, h4, or sometimes f4 and bring the queen. Well, with the knight on g6, it's a bit difficult to do that, but before the knight was on e7, so yeah, queen e8, queen h5 is a typical plan.
Yeah, and what would the plan here be? Would you go for the same plan with f4 and h4, 5 h4, or would you try something else?
I think about trying h5, h4 because I can always play f4 later on. While I don't want to play f4 immediately as it's weakening the e4 square, so I would prefer to wait with it and first to play h5, h4, or maybe something else. I don't know.
Well, h5, h4 is a very slow plan. I'm wondering if white has an easy way to try and break through somehow. Considering, yeah, what would be a good white plan here, actually? Maybe to play something like c5 at some point, to try and create a weakness over here, or maybe b6. Okay, f4 played, not following your advice there, with first h5, h4. But yeah, it was part of your plan, yeah?
Yes, but now white can play knight e4, knight c4, let's say. I don't know, I didn't want to allow that, not like it's the end of the world, but...
That's a green knight. That's a good knight on e4. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go on to the next one. The last board, I think, of England versus Argentina. Let's see. Oh, I forgot that there was a bishop on F1. I didn't see that for a moment. But yeah, okay.
This bishop
So
makes the difference.
yeah, it's a pretty equal position. Yeah?
I would prefer white, I think, because of the space advantage, because of the pawn on d5, and because of the pressure over e7 pawn.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, yeah, maybe it's not much at the moment.
Well, I do feel that white has certainly some pressure. If you, for example, can double the rooks on the e file, maybe even, okay, I hope people are listening because it's going to happen again, guys. We have been saying this for quite some time in the past few weekends, but here we go again. The Eliakine gun. Rook e3, rook e1, rook e2, queen e1. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like
you like my explanation, yeah. Tripling the pieces on the open file.
yeah. Well, yeah, you gave a whole course about that in one of the other broadcasts, I think. But yeah, do you want to give us a summary why that's good again? Maybe?
Because it's the best way to attack the pawn on e7, but it's a very long-term plan, and it's actually difficult to make it work in this position as the pawn on c4 will be unprotected. Yes.
This is the Alekine gun, guys. Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
Well,
but rook c4, some problems with rook c4.
yeah, I just made very terrible moves, by the way. Let's put
Doesn't
that
matter.
aside. I mean, but if you ever get this, sometimes you can really break through on the e7 file. So sometimes ideas like this are good, but actually you see these Alekhine guns very rarely because it's such a slow plan, and there are always chances for black to gain some counterplay in some way. So yeah, that's why you don't see these very often. But I wanted to show this. It's like yeah, we've seen this already very often. So we've explained this like 1,000 times. Guys, if you've been watching all these streams on chess on Twitch, on chess, on our chess channel, then you should already know what the Alekhine gun is. We've been bringing it up so often. Yeah, I'm sure you know now. All right,
Yeah, let's
let's
go
move
back to
on.
the games.
Let's see. Okay, bishop f1, knight f6. Let's see. This is what happened. C4. Oh, no move has been played. So, yeah. What do you think is a good plan here for black? How could black continue with his development?
Maybe queen d7 and b5. This is one of the plans. But b5, well, it's a double-edged move. It's like a committal move. You have to be careful with that. Also, knight d4 can be a good protection.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think b5. You want to try and maybe undermine the d5 and c4 chain a little bit. There are drawbacks though. For example, if you did it here, then well, there's still bishop on f1, so you need to calculate if taking on b5 is very good for white. And if you do it after queen d7, let's say white plays a move like rook a1. And if you play now knight b5, then there are always some knight a5 ideas, perhaps that could be good for white. So yeah, it's one of the most logical ideas to play here for black, but black needs to be careful when to do it, I believe. Yeah. Otherwise, maybe a move like knight d7, knight e5, knight c5, but then e7 also becomes more attack. So I like white too. I think I would choose white too. So yeah, I agree with your first assessment there. Yeah.
It's a bit unpleasant to play with black, yeah, because you're cramped and. Okay, what about moving to the next game?
Sure. So let's see if we can find another match, perhaps. We can maybe take a look at Mexico versus Hungary. Tamas Banus with white playing versus Julio Cesar Diaz Rosas, the FIDE master from Mexico. This is looking very, very good for white, I feel.
Yes, I think so. Also, this move a5, I don't like it so much. Black played a5 a few moves ago, but it weakened the b6 pawn, so I would prefer to keep the pawn on a7, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Why do you think black played a5 though? Ah, okay, never mind. To chase the knight away.
Yeah, just to chase the knight, but
And after knight b8. Yeah, how would you continue here as white? What would be a good plan?
I could think about trying h4, h5.
All right.
So if black allows this, it will be an improvement for white. If black plays h5 after h4, this will kind of weaken the g5 square, then some idea like knight g5 and e6 may be possible. Also f5 in some moment. So what else? Instead of
After
h4?
h4, let's say I play, well, a black plan could be perhaps to, okay, I'm gonna double the rooks, why not?
Double the rooks, be careful with e6.
Yeah, I'm not scared. I'm not
I
scared.
know.
It looks very good though. Do you want to play it? Do you think e6 is good?
I can try to play it, yeah, because e6, then knight g5 is coming.
I guess I have to take
Or,
like with the
or
pawn
queen
because I can maybe
g4.
take with the bishop.
Just a second. Now queen g4 or knight g5. What is better? Chat. What is better? I prefer knight g5, but maybe queen g4 is better. I'm not sure.
It is kind of complicated still, yeah. But it's clear that white is absolutely playing here for the advantage. Oh, actually, white has the advantage, but white is the one pushing for a win. All right, maybe move on to. Let's just check if there are some interesting games. Let's see if I can find something.
You're trying to find some crazy position,
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
believe.
Let's see. Um. doo, 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 doo. What's this?
What's this?
Alan Tate versus Joshua Ruiz. Looks like a dragon gone wrong.
Looks like white is 2 pawns up. And that's it.
That's it. Okay, next game. Let's see. Okay, we have a rook ending. What about this?
Oh, not about it. Should be a draw, but nobody knows.
Well, you could play. Okay, I think it should also be a draw. I would prefer black though, because black has maybe potential with the rook over the fifth rank. Maybe the king can come into d5. I don't like this isolated pawn on d4. That's going to be a problem at some point. But maybe the easy way for white to play is just to take like this, and just rook b1, exchange all the pawns on the queen side, and it should be more or less a draw, yeah? Yeah, because if white instead plays something like b5, then white might be in trouble after g takes f, rook h5, king d6, king d5. And just, I don't know. I think I like black a little bit more, but it shouldn't be that much. No, I think white should have enough play here.
I have nothing to add. I completely agree with you.
All right, and that's a wrap. That's this game. Let's move on to the next one. Woohoo! Let's see what this is. What's this?
2 pawns down for white, but some counterplay. Or maybe no counterplay.
Big threat on h7.
What?
Well, white's got a clear plan. Black's got a clear plan. And if black simply plays h6, it's on. Ah, okay, it's white to move.
It's white to move.
So if white takes
I
here.
can take this pawn.
Yeah, let's see if that happens. No, there's not. White hasn't taken yet on h7. So that makes a lot of sense, yeah.
But a very unpleasant threat from black side is queen f6. And I don't see the way how to defend. The
Okay, so
detailed
then takes
pawn.
on queen f5.
Takes and queen f5. Good.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. All right, queen f5. And then what?
Now let's think.
Maybe
Let's
knight c4.
think. Knight
No.
c4, bishop c4. Now let's keep this knight on b6. It's protecting the d5 pawn.
Mhm.
And
g5 is also under attack. Not so
okay,
easy.
I can suggest something boring like queen f4, but you won't like it so much. It's not so
Yeah,
entertaining.
it's not so entertaining, but sometimes moves like these are the best choices because you can safely play for the extra pawn that you've got. I
But
mean,
then it's
I
better
also
to play queen f6. It's a safer way, not to support
that's true.
pawn
Queen f6
structure.
is
Yeah,
better.
just trading the queens and then going for an endgame with extra pawn. Doesn't look bad. Maybe not the best, but not the worst.
Not the best, but not the worst either. Yeah, I agree. I think black is just a bit better, but let's see. Why is white thinking so much about queen takes h7? Is there something better in the position you think, or is he trying to figure out how to deal with queen f6?
I don't see anything better.
No. But let
No.
me try to find something interesting once again. Draw. What? Well, that explains everything. White got a draw offer, and that's why he was thinking.
Okay, but that was a lucky draw offer, I think, because black isn't in a risk. Okay, it may look dangerous because, yeah, queen h7, king f8, but I like black's position. The
Yeah,
bishop on
me too.
g7 is like a rock protecting everything.
Yeah, I think so too. I think black could safely have played this on for a win. But okay, yeah, not everybody agrees. Okay, what's this? This looks, we've seen this game before. Matthew Wadsworth versus Lucas Coro. And now we've got this position on the board. So a lot of progress there. Queen g5 played at the moment, threatening queen takes h5.
But it's
But
progress for
black,
white, not a progress for black.
it seems
Or
like white is under pressure, yeah. But on the other hand, after queen f7, 96 looks okay for black. I don't see an entrance point for white so far.
some ideas was h3, but do we have time for that? Queen h7, queen f7, h3, knight e6.
Even queen h.
Queen
No, this
h4,
is
maybe
not.
we can't play because bishop e4, d takes e4, bishop f6, trapping the queen.
Yep, that
If
would be
we
very
had
painful.
time to play queen h4, it would have been really nice, but maybe we don't have this time.
Maybe it's queen e3, but then taking here probably.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe queen e3, but then taking here probably. That rhymed again. Okay. So proud. Let's go move on to. Well, actually, so after queen f7, h3. If h3 doesn't work, who do you think is better then? Let's say I play something like bishop c3. Normal. He gets
Knight e6,
96.
queen e3.
Queen
But maybe it's
goes.
just to play queen e3 immediately. Queen e3, knight e6, and maybe even f3. And it's about equal, more or less.
Yeah, not so much going on, yeah. Yep. Right, let's move on then. We are now at this game. Let's see how. Wait a sec. I want to go to a certain game.
This. Oh, wow.
I think you have a feeling who I'm checking.
Oh, how Jovanka? How did she play?
Yeah, exactly. So queen d4. Oh, this actually came on the board. Wait, what?
Great.
How did black survive? Black is still playing.
Black is still playing.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
What
Queen
the
h7.
Oh, yeah. There you
And
go.
bishop
Oh,
g5, just taking everything.
oh, it's so
Knight
painful.
f7. Oh, wow.
Ay, ay, ay,
It's
ay,
just
ay,
smashing.
ay. Yeah, that's too much. That's way too much. Oh, but black is still playing. Okay, like that, she's got fighter spirit at least. But yeah, this is completely over, of course. White is clearly winning. There you go,
Oh,
resignation.
White eventually won the game.
Yeah, Jovanka winning the game. So let's see how her countrymen are doing. Let's see how Mickey Adams is doing. We left around here, and now we are here.
Hmm.
That's the difference. Is
Um,
White still pushing here?
this position is actually a very interesting one because it's not that very clear. Okay, we have a good knight on c4. Now it's on e3. There are some weaknesses for black, like weakness on c6. But white also has some weaknesses, like on h4. This pawn may be attacked by playing bishop e1, or rook b6, attacking the pawn on b3. I believe white is a bit better, but it's not so easy to convert this
Yeah, I
advantage.
agree. Maybe what you want to do is something like knight f5 and rook g2, rook g7 to try and get into the black position. But black can then play rook a7. It's basically whenever this rook moves away from the c file, this rook moves away from the a6 square. So yeah, I agree. It's very hard to convert. Not much going on. Otherwise, just I think White's going to push this until the end of time, basically. Literally, actually. Yeah.
What about the other players from England?
Yeah, let's take a look. David Howell with black playing against Francisco Javier. But David is doing good. I think can't black just take this pawn? Ah, okay, wait, you've got rook takes c8 now. Hmm.
Maybe take them
Therefore,
through. Yeah. And now,
and now take perhaps, yeah. Yeah, it looks good. I think it's possible. Maybe e5 at some point, but I think you can take that pawn.
okay, if you can take, you should take. David took the pawn, so
I was thinking maybe white can be really adventurous, like this. Only moves. Ah, but darn it, it's not a mate.
we need the pawn from h7 moving to g6, and then it was a nice combination because the king wouldn't have a
Yeah,
place.
you're always hoping for stuff like this, but unfortunately, David calculates everything correctly, and therefore, yeah, you know that what he's doing is just correct. So bishop c7 played. Well, black is clearly in the driving seat. Yeah, I mean, rook c8. Actually, also white is very low on time. He is on increment, actually. Bishop d6.
Okay, 95.
White is defending well. Pawn down, of course, but still symmetrical position. White still has some chance to draw this.
Okay, e5, knight f4. Go. Go. Oh, thank you, e5. Thanks.
Oh,
Thanks for
thank you. e5.
placing the queen on d4.
All right. After e5, what about queen c5? Would you trade?
I'd prefer to keep the queens on the board, but I'm struggling to find a good place for the queen. Maybe just okay. Queen e6, queen d6. You are going to chase my queen, yes?
Yeah, I want to, of course, but yeah, but you do have a lot of squares to go to. Queen d7, queen d6, queen a4.
Maybe queen
That's okay.
f5.
Maybe queen f5 indeed. Also pretty good. Now black is just going to milk this until yeah, to try and convert this for a win simply. All right.
Yeah, black will try to win this game.
Yeah.
Mickey
Yeah.
Adams we saw. Who
Let me
else is
check.
playing?
Yeah, Jovanka won. I think every game is finished then, besides this one and Mickey's game. Okay, so some progress. White has a knight on g3 now. And black played c4.
Black played c4 on the previous move. knight f5, bishop c5, or bishop f8, or
No.
I
Bishop
don't know.
c5, rook a6, I suppose.
King f7.
It's looking very bad, isn't it, for black? But how would you continue? Sure, you still did not take this pawn. Not so clear yet.
Some technical problems.
Some technical problems. All right, I've had enough. Let's go for something wacky, something crazy. Let's see if I can find something. This looks a bit wacky. I mean, there you go.
Wow.
Ecuador versus Scotland, it seems. Sorry, Colombia versus Scotland. And white is trying to mate, but black has a good knight on f5, protecting a lot of stuff. King g6 would mean no mate.
I'm a bit afraid that if white keeps on, playing for a win, they may actually lose this game.
Well, I think the black should for sure go and play for a win here. Too many pawns, like these pawns. This pawn is gonna run quickly, and also grabbing another pawn, queen takes d5 in one of the next moves. And yeah, if queen g8 is not really a threat if you play something like king g6, but
Will black
yes.
take the draw? But I don't think it's like a good idea. Maybe
Don't
queen
take the
d2.
draw. Don't take the draw. You
Yeah,
win.
just queen d2. Queen d2. If
Yes.
nice. If king a3, then just queen e3. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Try the queens. Or first.
Let's
Queen
go
d3.
for
Maybe
queen
queen
and
d3.
country. No. No. So sad. All right. Yeah, queen e3 would have been very good, and then yeah, queens need to be traded. I guess you can go back, but you just take and play f3, I suppose.
But you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pawns.
Yeah, I just run with this guy.
Crazy.
You've got so many pawns, yeah. This should be winning for black. I mean, white does not have anything active at the moment yet. You can just push these pawns over the board and just play.
Or knight
And you win.
e3, trying to take one more pawn. I mean, you will never lose this position, so white accept the draw.
Well, actually, if no, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm checking on the left side of the board, everybody, where you can see the current results, the updated results. So as we can see already 1 or 2 clear result. Ecuador winning against Montenegro and Hungary winning against Mexico already. Not all the boards have been finished, but yeah, those 2 matches are already decided. So let's see which games are still going on. We've got 1, 2, there are 4 games going on.
And Colombia already won, because if it's 3-0 and it was a draw right now. Oh, so maybe the woman from Colombia, she wanted just to, fix the result. So she accepted this perpetual just for her team to win the match. Maybe it was not like a bad decision, because, anything can happen. You may lose internet connection. You may make some mouse slip. So better to secure the match.
Exactly. There can be an electricity outage or a internet outage or something. We've experienced everything already. So yeah, it's absolutely true. And actually, the pawn ending is winning, right?
Yeah, pawn ending is winning because the king is running to e6 quicker than black king is running to e3.
Yeah, this looks over. This looks like Michael Adams is going to win this endgame with nice technique. All right, I want to check on David once again.
So
This
it's
is
2.5 and 2.5. And David, crucial game.
Oh, that's true. So this is on the board now. A lot of things have progressed. Yeah, it's oh wait, what? What can take here?
Take and go for a rook end game. Yeah, white could have taken. Well, is it closer to a win or closer to a draw? With the precise play, I believe it's closer to a draw, especially if white took on c4 and went for a rook endgame. But in this game, I don't know. With
Yeah.
17 seconds left, just rook d6.
Okay, so no rook trades. I think that's smart. Yeah, white is just being kind of annoying at the moment for black, but
Knight g7.
yeah, just trying to repeat moves. There's actually a nice idea in the position. Knight f3, rook a1, and then mate. So white needs to be very careful about that. Yeah, there you go. Knight f3, threatening rook a1. I think rook c1 is more or less the only move here.
I believe that even if rook g7, king h6, rook f7, black can still play rook a1.
Here rook f7 and then still rook a1. Yeah, I agree, because if you take, the king goes and rook g1 is still a threat. I think actually that white is going on there after this. King f1, rook a1, now
But
just
now,
king e4 or e4? I guess e4, yeah. And there's a
knight is
mating there.
losing for white. No, white had to trade the knight, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, if the knights get traded, bigger drawing chances because it's a rook ending. But after e4, yeah, rook mating that.
E4. Some stalemate ideas? No.
You wish. I don't think so.
Yeah, I wanted to make a statement, of this kind, something like knight d6, king e5, knight e4, king e4. Oh, black won the game. So important win for David Howell, who brought a very important point for England team. But the line I wanted to show is that, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, come on. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was checking something. Yeah,
No,
let's
it
go.
was somewhere in the very end.
This position?
No. Let's go to the very end.
All right.
Just one move before the end. So I was trying, some stalemate idea like king e5, and now not knight f7, but knight e4, king e4, and if there was no pawn on h4, I wanted to take on g4. If not about this pawn, it would have been a stalemate.
That was so close, though. I actually was starting to believe that there might actually be some stalemate in there. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there isn't. Stalemates are very hard to achieve. But yeah, I think actually that are all the games. I don't see. That's why I was looking a little bit away. I couldn't find any of the other games yet. So everybody, that means that we are going to go on a short break, and after the break, we're going to show, of course, the results and the current standings in Pool E. We'll be back with you shortly in a few minutes.
See you soon.
Oh, hey, we're starting already. I was joking. No, I knew we were starting, but I trying to be funny didn't work. Okay, hello everybody. We are back. 2020 Olympiad. Yeah, and actually, with the last round of this pool, and actually of the day, we only got one round to go in Pool E. And actually, guys, we've got something funny in store for you because look at what we got right here. We've got actually some individual standings here. Like, for example, in Pool C, the number one player is Lucas Mavoni from Italy, who has 3 out of 3. And also, of course, two Netherlands, like we said, Anna, the Dutch women of the Netherlands are doing very well with 2 out of 2 so far. And this is actually pretty cool. So in this way, we can see who is doing very well in which pool so far. And of course, there will be also a pool E later. We will keep that updated as well. Yeah, so that's a really cool feature that we made for everyone. Yeah, it's so far not really any surprises, I think. But yeah, we're also, of course, going to wait for the next games to start. So how are you feeling, Anna? It's been a long day so far, but we're finally coming to a close to it. Do you still feel energetic?
Yes, I still feel like doing a bit more of commentating. Why not? Not that very tired at the moment. And yeah, thanks for bringing these nice templates and showing the best players by points, not by the team standings. So here we are, and we are starting the last game for today. It will start in
Yeah.
Pool E, but before we start with it, we still have some minutes, right?
Yes, we do. So let's talk about something. I want to talk about the results of round two, actually. You can see that on the left, everybody. So you can see that Ecuador versus Montenegro, that's a 4-2 result. And Scotland lost 5-1 to Colombia, and England won clutch 3.5, 2.5. Hungary won 5-1, and Bolivia won 3.5, 2.5 against Costa Rica. So yeah, here you go. These are the current standings of this pool. Hungary doing very well. England, no surprise either, one of the favorites here. And then Colombia and Ecuador. So 4 teams still on 100%. Is there a team that is already catching your eye, like they're doing better than expected, or the other way around?
I think Colombia and Ecuador are really doing great because I expected actually Argentina to have also 4 points, but they lost some games and some points in the matches. So yeah, it's not a surprise to see Hungary and England on the top for me because they are the highest rated teams. But Colombia and Ecuador, yeah, good that we see new names.
Yeah, I think actually Argentina lost their match in the previous one against England. So that was the clutch result, 3.5, 2.5. So yeah, well, let's put another score sheet on. As you guys can see, will be actually this is this is Pool D. We're going to look at Pool E. So Pool E round two, and well, yeah, once again, Ecuador winning 4-2 against Montenegro. And yeah, these are all going to be, of course, yeah, big for the final standings for who will be going to be promoted to the next division. So maybe we should talk a little bit about that once again so that everybody after this long day can have a reminder of what we are playing for. Just a little reminder about the formats so that we can see if if people still remember everything that's going on here. So here you go. Once again, there are 163 teams from the start. We started off in the base division and we are slowly moving towards the top division and the stage two. Over 1,500 players from around the world, really around the world. It's amazing to see how popular the chess game is and how many countries wanted to participate in this Olympiad. And yeah, teams are divided into 5 divisions. And as I said, we're moving closer and closer to the top division. And one of my favorite things here is that each team features 2 open boards, 2 women boards, 1 junior male board, and 1 junior female board. All right, and of course, the top three teams qualify for the next division. So yeah, a little reminder for everyone. And yeah, it's been a long day so far for us. And okay, so who do you think has got the best chance to win here? Is it actually England or is it actually maybe another country? Which one is the absolute favorite, do you think?
I believe England and Hungary chances are higher, but it's completely unclear. Okay, England is maybe the best, but once again, well, it's only 2 rounds. 2 rounds have passed, while there are many more rounds to go. So the battle goes on.
Yeah, we're only at the start. This is day one of the weekend. Of course, the rest of the weekend we're going to see round four, five, and six tomorrow. And on Sunday, we're going to see round seven, eight, and nine on Sunday, on my birthday, by the way. Yeah, all right. So let's see if there are already some games. Let's take a look. So actually, there are some games, but they are only starting right now. And actually, I need to click some things away. Let me do that first.
A long list.
Yeah, there are so many games. Like of course, with every round there are 5 times 6 games, so that's 30 games. So yeah, that could be a bit confusing sometimes. But look at that. We've got Leonardo da Vinci, as I like to call him, with the white pieces, playing against Carlos Matamoros from Ecuador, I believe. So yeah, as you guys can see, the games have started, and we're obviously going to try and find some interesting positions. For example, what's this opening? This knight G-E2 move. That's a move you don't see very often.
I played it once myself, so I have some idea about this move. The idea is that on the next move, white wants to play a3, and if black takes on c3, they don't play b takes c3, but they take with a knight, and they don't spoil the structure. So yeah, that was the idea. But of course, placing the knight on e2 also has some drawbacks, and of course, the knight on e2 is covering the bishop on f1, and it's not developed toward the center. It's not developed to f3, but it's developed to e2. So yeah, it's not the main move. The main move is e5 instead. Well, okay, knight e2 is a nice surprise.
Yeah, do you think it's a really good weapon for white to use?
It's not a bad move. You will not get worse position if you play knight e2. So in some of the games, the viewers can try this line in their own games.
All right, let's see if black dared to take the pawn. I'm pretty curious. Yes, black took the pawn, a3, bishop d6, actually. Is this bishop d6 one of the main lines?
No, bishop d6 is not the main line. Bishop e7, I believe, is the main line. And the idea is that after knight e4, black goes knight f6. They can't do the same. I mean, they can do the same with the bishop on d6, but in that case, white would have played bishop g5, or they would simply take this bishop on d6. So bringing the bishop to e7 was a bit better, in my opinion.
All right, so, but instead we've got bishop d6 on the board, knight takes e4, knight f6, and now probably bishop g5 or knight takes d6
Or even
as an
knight
actual
c3,
option.
also possible, like a candidate move.
Lots of candidate moves here. All right, so let me find every game possible in this match. Actually, an interesting match would maybe be Argentina versus Hungary, two of the
Ooh,
favorites, I
yeah,
think.
let's go.
All right, let's see if I can find it quickly. That rhymed again.
Here you are. Actually, you were in one of the games from that match, but maybe we should start from board one.
I think we are now on board one, Victor Erdos versus Alan Pichot. And yeah, this is a very slow Gioco pianissimo.
Yeah, this will be a very long game. It's too early to speak about it. Maybe we
Yeah,
should start with some other game.
let's see if there's some action somewhere. Yeah, not yet. Oh, not yet. No. Not yet, anyway.
It's
Oh,
just the opening stage.
it's a very quiet start. No car crashes yet. It's just making some moves. Just well, yeah. This is the opening. This is also the opening. Yeah, that's the opening. This one is already slightly further progressed. Do you think we can make something out of this difference? Would you take here with the knight or with the pawn here?
I think with the knight, because if I take with the pawn, the knight on c2 he will not have too many prospects. I
Yeah.
think it's a passive piece. That's why I prefer knight taking on e3. But I believe black's position is good here.
Yes, one thing I always wondered was like, when do you take on e6 exactly? But because I actually played a game like this where the black rook was having a field day over the f file, and my opponents just started playing moves like this, queen g6, knight h5, knight f4, and there was not really anything that I could do about it. I mean, if I tried to put a break in there with d4, then the e4 pawn might fall. And yeah, this idea is also a very simple one. So I was thinking, is black not here maybe simply better?
I wouldn't say black is better, but I have played Italian so many times with both white and black. And answering your question, when it's good to take on e6 and when it's not good, I believe white should try to take on e6 after they had a chance to play b4. When black played a5 and stopped it, I believe it's good for black.
Okay, that's a nice, how do you say, yeah, something to hold on to. So only take on e6 when you can play b4, and that's now not possible. So I think the white could be in a bit of trouble here then, because it's very hard to create some counterplay. No b4, b5 ideas here. All
Yeah,
right,
because
let's
if you
move
don't
on.
play,
Oh, sorry.
sorry to interrupt you, because if you don't play b4, you don't really get space advantage. And yeah, as you mentioned, it's not so easy to push d4. But okay, it's not like white is worse. And how to react to black's plan of a knight h5, knight f4. I think after black goes knight h5, white can always play g3, so it's not a tragedy. While yes, after queen e8, queen g6, I believe it's more or less equal.
Okay, queen. Yeah, that's a good point, by the way. Knight h5 is met by g3. And then, well, black is going to double up on the f file. I do think that what black has the easiest play here. It's not so easy for white to make some progress or to get some activity going.
Okay, white may play something like g3, king g2, knight g1 in case black really threatens something. Or this file, yeah. Or knight h4, there was also an option.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, but the opening is still far away. Let's see. Only knight takes, queen e8, queen b3, rook b8, queen b3.
You have
Yeah,
to be
that's a
careful
good.
with queen b3 because it's attacking the pawn, yes, but there are maybe some ideas of, knight h5, threatening rook f3, sacrifice, and please be careful with that because sometimes it may lead to just losing the game for white.
Yeah, now g3 is also less strong because the knight on f3 is not protected anymore. All right, but enough about the slow Giuoco Pianissimo. Yeah, let's go move on to another one. Okay, this one has already progressed quite some. So this is Mexico versus Bolivia. Let's check the opening real quick. I'm just wondering a little bit about how this went. So it's a Svesnikov with 6, 7.
Magnus Carlsen line.
Yeah, do we call it like that already?
I think he deserved to call this line under his name because he has played so many games with both knight b8 and knight e7 retreat. But I'm not sure he would like this particular position with black because the bishop on b7 is quite passive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think actually that b6 is not a move that we've seen in that match, actually. And actually,
a6, f5, knight d7, knight f6. Oh, it's like, already you can wake people up in the middle of the night and they will tell you about this plan.
Yeah, it's been played so often throughout history as well, yeah. Yeah, but b6, it's like that's a kind of a weird move. You're giving white a target after a5, so yeah, and in this position, yeah, like you said, this bishop is not very good, but black is very, very solid. So yeah, I'm wondering how white is gonna push through here. I guess the a file needs to be used, maybe something like queen a4 or something.
Queen c2 or k1, maybe.
Well, queen c2, rook a1. Yeah, I like that actually better because not also knight c5, queen a7. Queen, I would rather have a rook here, I think, but maybe this is okay too. Yeah, white is just a bit better. Okay, I want to see some action. Let's see.
You want to see some action. Did you hear that, viewers? We want to see some action.
Yes, can we get some action hype in the chat, please? The last round of the day, everybody. Let's get some hypes up. Let's try and get some action going today. This looks interesting. Yeah, so Tang Huang, famous player from Hungary. She's been around for quite some time, I believe, yeah?
I have played many games with her. Yes, she's a strong player. She is former European champion. Yeah, she has Vietnamese roots. That's why she has the surname Hoan Tran Chan. Or, yeah. But she moved to Hungary and she lives in Budapest or very close to Budapest for many, many years. And yeah, she's representing Hungary. Her FIDE rating is about 2450, and she is a male grandmaster, not only a women grandmaster, but also a male grandmaster. And
Mhm.
she's playing French, her favorite opening from childhood, I believe. She has a
Really?
lot of
Already?
experience with that.
Okay. So yeah, that's a good thing that you mentioned there, by the way, because indeed, everybody, the ratings that you see next to the names are not the official FIDE ratings. Those are the chess.com ratings. So those are not a good indicator of how strong a player is. So for example, Tang Huang is actually a grandmaster, and she had a rating over 2500. So there you go. Don't look too much at the chess.com ratings. There's not much we can do about it. It's something we have to live with. But yeah, we'll keep you updated if there's a big upset or anything, and then we'll tell you, of course. So okay, how's Tang Huang doing here?
Uh, it looks like she's a bit worse because her bishop is a bit passive, but she has a clear plan. She's trying to push b4. So maybe it's not so bad.
Who's better and why? Do you think that black is better here? One idea that comes to mind for white is maybe bishop b1, queen c2, and then start attacking. But after knight d4, yeah, now I'm a bit worried about b4, like you said.
b4. Yeah, I like b4. What can white do after b4? Knight b3.
Queen
Knight
goes.
b3, queen goes. Yeah, and we can't take the pawn because there is bishop b5 in the end. Yes, I see it, Roland. You want to drink me in almost every line.
Still testing you even late in this night, late in the day, because we've been doing this for quite some time, everybody. But she's still very sharp, as you can see. All right, so yeah, I mean, what do you think? I think it's quite annoying to have this pawn on b4, right? I think black has quite active prospects here, so I'm wondering what could be an idea for white here to try and create something, especially after b4.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'm still thinking about knight b3, queen b6, and maybe something like rook c1.
That's very so. Which rook?
I thought another rook.
Oh, at your service. There you go. Okay,
Maybe it's not the best.
I'm gonna play something like a5.
a5, that looks good. So, except knight b3, what are the other options?
b3? No.
b3,
Probably.
then b takes c3. Or no, I can't play it. Yeah, maybe b3 is a good move. Thank you.
Well, why, you're welcome. Okay, knight a3, I guess, or yeah. So the point is that if you take here, with to answer b takes c4 with queen takes d4, white has an in-between move with knight takes c6, winning a piece. So my guess is actually, what if you just move the knight somewhere? Let's go to a3. Is really that bad? Well, actually a6 is hanging, so you could just take everything and take on a6.
I'm not so sure about it, but maybe it's a good plan to take it.
Maybe it isn't. Yeah, I think b3 is an interesting idea, but it's also very scary because the d4 knight will not be supported by c3, not c3 pawn anymore. So this, yeah, this is a really scary move to play. You need
What
to
about
this works.
what about one more idea? What if I go f5? Just
All right.
crazy.
Let's say a
B
take.
takes c3, b takes c3.
All right, let's say rook b2.
Rook b2.
Okay, sacrifice. Can you move the queen?
I'm trying, to sacrifice the pawn on e5 and then to find something crazy.
Queen e1?
That may work. Queen e1. Queen e1 is possible, but it's too passive. But maybe queen e1 is okay.
Yeah, we want to go somewhere here, but I also don't see it. Yeah, because after queen h5, you have knight takes e5, I suppose, yeah?
Yeah, and I was trying to calculate some lines with f takes e6 or f6, but I don't see how to make it working.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe after rook b2, maybe just queen e1.
Yeah, keeping all the threats.
Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, I like this. This looks like the way forward for Candela. So let's take a look if that happens. b4, f5, b takes, b takes. This is actually on the board.
So it wasn't such a bad suggestion.
No, it was a good suggestion, a very good one. All right, let's move on to the next one. We've got Ticia Gara and Guadalupe Encina playing against each other.
White is slightly better. Maybe not only slightly.
A little more space.
A little bit more than slightly better. Do you want to try to push it for now? No, I said white is slightly better, but then I realized it's a little bit more than slightly better. So then I said white is a little bit more than slightly better.
A little bit more than slightly better. I was searching for that word, actually. Like, what could be the next step of being slightly better, I guess just better, but you could also like very slightly better. No, that's not correct. A lot more slightly better. Okay. Yeah, f4, for example, is now, just f4, f5 at some point should be very good. Do you agree? I think that's usually the plan that you play here, yeah? In these Maroczy type of positions.
Not bad.
All right, I'm going to try and find something exciting again. Hey, what's this?
I told you about the sacrifice, right? You remember?
You told me. Yeah, so now white is in a bit of trouble. Black can play queen h5, take here, mate on h3. That's
fantastic. I love this plan. So
after d5, how can we implement that plan without too many losses in our camp?
Maybe we can take on d5 for the beginning, because knight d5 doesn't work as there is a direct checkmate.
So e takes.
And after e takes d5, we can move the knight. But maybe even without e takes d5, what if you start directly with your idea, queen h5?
All right, let's do it. Queen h5. D takes e6.
Take immediately or check first?
Well, Jack first, King G2. I
Check
believe.
first king g2, but knight f4, at least a draw.
That's true. But this
So queen,
looks completely winning, actually.
queen f3, if h4, or what's the defense?
Hmm. Actually, that is a big question.
How are we winning now?
D5, D4.
I believe it should be winning. Just a second. What about knight e2?
Okay, King H2.
King h2, queen f4. Yeah, it's not helping much. Yeah, no.
Not
Knight
working.
e2 doesn't work. Knight h3 and knight f2. Okay, I don't like it so much, but maybe it's not so bad.
I like D5. I think that's the way to go.
D5. Let's check it. What's the idea of d5?
I
Actually,
want to play D4 and take.
but if I but if I take on d5 first, could you just go one move back?
Yes, ma'am.
If we try to make a long plan like rook f8, rook f6, and rook g6, is it too
Let's
crazy?
do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we give one
I'm gonna
more.
get a queen though.
Yeah, but we don't care much. Rook f6, queen, king h7, and then perhaps h5. Or yeah, queen 8. So this was nice, but it didn't work.
Oh, this is a lot of fun. This is why it's good to be a commentator, you know?
What if we take on c6? Or we can win a tempo by playing b5 first, attacking the queen, and then rook f8. Maybe it still doesn't work.
It's gonna keep running.
Rook f6.
But now rook f6 and rook g6.
So
Yeah, I think this is the way to go. I think this is it. I don't think white can do anything about it.
Some beautiful lines. I think 10% of them are true. The other 90, I'm not sure.
Queen h5 on the board. D takes. Queen takes f3 and h4. This is actually on the board.
Okay.
I'm very curious to see. Let's stay here for a little bit.
I really like this game.
Will he play something? Maybe. What about? Is this weird? What if I just play b6?
But it's too slow. Let's
Why?
play in style. b6. b6.
Okay. Yeah, because you rook f1.
No, rook f1, knight h3, king h2, take on f. No, I meant queen f2, king h3, rook f8, but I'm not sure it's winning. Maybe it's not. Queen is
Check.
Check, yes, and yeah, knight f5. You bring it up.
Yeah.
Yes, this didn't work.
Okay, so after h4, I think, yeah, we should just play rook f8 very quickly then.
So b5 and rook f8?
Yep.
Is this the way to win?
Maybe b takes c6 is also just good.
Yes, I wanted to speak about b takes c6, but it's not the move with the tempo. Rook e1 and even rook b2.
Here you go, rook takes b2, yeah. Yeah, I want to play this rook away so that the queen can maybe defend from here. But if you do that, then rook f8.
Rook f8.
Next move knight e2 perhaps, or knight e3.
Knight e3, yeah.
So this should be over. After queen f1, let's continue with my idea there. Just rook f6.
Rook f6. Okay, there are too many good moves.
Yeah,
also knight e2 and no, rook f4, then you have knight g2.
It's not so easy, yeah. But okay, white really cannot do much with these two rooks. So even if you cannot win immediately, not every move is directly losing, I think, for black.
All right, but it's the most beautiful game we see today.
Yeah, it is. This is a really nice one, yeah.
b5 played. Look.
Oh my God!
Look at that.
He did it. He did it. b5. Okay. But does it really work though?
Oh, this I don't know, but it looks beautiful. I'm not sure it works, but it's nice.
b5. Wow, what a move! Oh my. Oh my. What about, am I stupid? Does this work? No, that doesn't work.
But just rook f8 and knight e2, maybe.
Yeah, okay, let's say I take rook f8. Yeah, looks good. Looks like it's winning for white, for black, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think this is on the board. Oh no, queen b3 on the board. And
Rook
rook
f8, but it's even
Yeah.
worse for white. Let's just speak about queen d1. What happens after queen d1? How do we win? Knight e2, king h2, rook f4, knight g2, rook g4. Okay, there must be some win here. Rook g3.
Awesome.
Yeah, and yeah. We did it!
This is beautiful. Yeah, this is well done. This is nice.
It's amazing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is brilliant. I agree. Wow, this is really nice. Yeah. Wow. Have you ever sacrificed a rook for an attack like this before?
I have some nice games, and we have a question in the chat. A takes b5, rook f8, rook f e1. Was it saving the position? I don't know. And we don't. Viewers, we are analyzing all this without the help of the engine. Yes, we do see some elevation bar which is jumping, every time. So we are not sure about the lines we are showing. But I think we are showing some cute lines. So rook
At the very least, yeah. I mean,
the very least.
so what is this? I mean, I want to check here. King h2 and just play a move like queen h5, mate here like this.
Or
I'm not sure what white can do here. Do you really have to sacrifice your queen or something? Or maybe play knight g2? I don't see anything else.
maybe knight g2.
Okay, check, I guess.
Okay, I have to give the queen.
Okay, black won. But yeah, maybe black has nothing better than just to take control here.
Take queen g2, queen h4, king g1. I don't know who is managing the the chess.com account from chess.com. Yeah, who was that? Who who suggested this line? Who is the strong player? Please reveal yourself. Yeah, so maybe it takes b5 and rook f1 was the best.
Well, that's amazing. Well, the person who showed this is a really strong player. Yeah, who actually got this. Yeah, really, really strong.
It was Walter. Shout out to Walter, our producer for today, who is also following the games and who is suggesting his ideas. Nice ideas.
Yeah, nice ideas. I totally agree there. Let's see. Okay, I want to stick a little bit with this match between Argentina and Hungary, because I feel like this is the most important of the day, but we can also, of course, take a quick look at how Mickey Adams is doing, one of the strongest players in this whole pool. So, yeah, Queen C3, last move. Not too sure what's going on. Rook is stacked, rook is here. There might be some tricks in the position. Okay, if rook takes e4, then just check and knight c5 wins material.
Yeah, it doesn't work for black. I'd like to say that if there were no knights on the board, it would have been better for black. Okay, from strategical point of view, not like from tactical, of course. If the rook on e1 is under the attack and queen c8 is the threat, then it's not good. But in general, it's better for black to trade these knights if possible.
I totally agree. So rook b1 makes a lot of sense. You could rook d1 was also an interesting move. How is white going to continue here? I want to somehow create a mating net or try to make use of.
I see some idea. Queen c8, king h7, and I'm not sure if e5 immediately or first knight d8.
Ooh.
Yeah, this idea, exactly, this idea.
Okay. What can
Even
we
if
do
you
here?
play knight e4, still queen c2, and if rook b7, queen e4, and
That's nice.
voila,
Nice geometry.
win the rook.
Yeah. But yeah, what black could play a move like rook e1 here, but then after maybe just knight d6. But
96.
actually, now you have f5.
Oh, yeah,
So
I might say.
maybe just f3.
Maybe, we can first start with knight d8, but maybe it's a bit too slow. I mean, before e5.
Okay. First knight d8,
Knight d8,
then rook b6.
rook b6, or rook a7. I wanted to protect the f7 pawn.
All right. Well, I wanted to protect the rook so that there's no e5 and queen c2 ideas anymore.
You think the rook is more important than the pawn?
Yes. Pawns are worth 1 point, everybody, and pieces are worth 3 points. I'm talking about the knight and the bishop. That's what they teach
Bravo.
in school. So yeah, I want to keep the rook. That's more important than the pawn. But okay, rook a7 is it different if you play e5 now?
Yeah, it's different because if we go with the same line, like knight e4, queen c2, rook e1. But after f3, you have the trick with rook g7. No. No.
Countered, hard countered. Yeah, so so this doesn't really work. It's probably just better to play it simple with e5 immediately, right?
How to do it simply? e5 now? Knight e4.
Or first check and then e5. Actually, do you know this quote? The hardest thing to do is to play simple.
Oh.
I'm freely translating that a little bit, but
sometimes it's really difficult, yeah.
yeah, it's a quote from Johan Cruyff. He's actually a famous football player. So actually, what he quoted was the hardest thing to do is to play simple football. Yeah, but yeah, it's nice to learn from legends like that, you know. So yeah, queen c8, king h7, e5, plain and simple. White should be winning here, I believe.
Yes, knight e4, and what do you do after that?
I think queen c2, some birdie told me.
Queen c2, rook e1, and then we were not sure about the move. F3, yes?
Yes.
This way.
It's
fine, okay.
I think it's winning, yeah. How can you not? You're winning the knight. I don't think black can do anything about that.
Rook b6 may be played, but then simply knight d6. I'm learning. Simple moves.
Simple moves are the best. It's just simple is the best.
I believe some moves were played in the game.
Yeah.
While we were trying, while we were struggling to find the win, some moves were played. Oh, okay, that was played. Queen c8 and c5 and e5. Yeah.
Oh, slightly different though. Rook. This move was a move we did not consider
yet. Yes, because I thought white would have taken the pawn on f7.
Okay.
And this will be good for white. Taking rook b2. There is some counterplay.
Which rook?
I think this one, yes.
It doesn't really matter. All right. So knight takes f7 is maybe not the best. Yeah. What if we give a check first or something? Or maybe
check
place
first.
Does it help? Check, queen takes a4 is also an idea. It's a very complicated position, isn't it?
Why did you bring such a complicated game?
Hey, that's what I do. I'm trying to make things interesting. All right, but I guess we've stayed here for too long. White is pushing against Adams. That would be a big upset, actually, because, well, the Colombian player is a grandmaster, as you guys can see. But still, winning a game against Mickey Adams is for a lot of people just a dream come true. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this game. I'll keep an eye on it, and let's see if I can find something fun. What's this? What's this? What's this? There's a knight on f5, attacking the queen on e7, attacking the h6 pawn. You probably have to play something like queen f8 or queen g5. But also keep an eye on f7. So this makes the most sense. But then bishop takes f7 ideas are coming in the air. And actually you can also play a move like h4. Because if you take, you have knights.
Nice.
So
I really like
queen,
h4.
apologies, I didn't hear you. All right, so h4 looks very good, and then queen d2, and
but then knight e7 and
king f8,
f8
take here,
f7,
and just go for the mate. It looks very, very dangerous if you take here, queen f6.
We could also start with bishop f7 because it's more forcing. Maybe if bishop f7, the knight e7. King h8, queen f6.
Bada bum, bada boom, and it's over. Nice.
Yeah, that's over, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a nice attacking game from Candela with the white pieces here. If that is all, actually, because after knight f5, queen g5 is played, h4 is played, and black played knight e5 there. They're really trying here. I'm not sure how to evaluate this. I want to move the queen. I think I just want to go here. And I'm a little bit scared of a move like bishop c6.
Don't be scared. A takes g5. I'm not sure it's the best.
Yeah, I don't think this works, actually.
And knight e5, nice trick by Juan Tranchan.
Nice intermediate move, but I think it looks very, very good for the drawing margin here. King g6, you take here, you take here, you take here. Isn't black playing for a win now, actually?
Yeah, maybe now black will start playing for a win. So yeah, white had to keep the queens on the board. I don't know with which move, queen d5 or queen h3, or maybe even something else. But white shouldn't have traded the queens.
Yeah, not h takes g5, knight takes f3. It doesn't work for white now. So what else then? Queen goes, I guess here, yeah?
Let's try to take it, yeah. Why not?
All right, so I was afraid a little bit of bishop c6. You told me not to be afraid. Tell me why.
There are many reasons. Maybe bishop f7 or simply queen takes c6. But maybe bishop f7.
All right, what happens after knight takes?
I take your bishop.
And that's over. All right, so bishop takes, king goes somewhere.
Could you please specify?
Yeah, I'm going to go here, but then you have queen takes e5. Okay, so I'm going to go to h7.
Well, it looks winning with every move, but maybe.
Oh,
yeah, just take and bishop d5, the easiest way.
Oh, that's also true.
Did you need g6? Maybe just bishop takes d5 and white is a piece up.
I think you're right. Yeah, so white missed the win there, it seems. So let's take a look at what the position is now, because I'm interested if black suddenly is going to play for a win. Do you think so still? Black only has one pawn, but it's a big pawn on a4, so.
I think black is out of danger.
At the very least, yeah. It's well, we're closing in on time trouble as well, and actually there are a lot of results already, so everybody keep an eye out for the left of the board. We are going to update the results as much as we can, so keep an eye out for it if you want to check what the results are. And here, I don't know, I think a draw is most likely, but on the other hand, I also don't see black ever lose this. I mean, Well, if you get the king to where here and this pawn starts running, then maybe. But I think that black also has its own threats with the a pawn, perhaps.
Yes, the easiest way is just play bishop b3, I believe, threatening bishop d5. If white takes the bishop, then it's an easy draw. If
Oh, I did
can't
something.
we play? It was black.
Ah, it's white to move. So king h2, this. You can obviously not take because then the pawn will promote. So rook b6, b2, and this is
Maybe
an
not
easy.
b2, maybe just rook b2, rook b1, b2, and rook c1.
Yeah, also good. I was thinking b2 and maybe rook a3.
Yeah, maybe
But
also.
it's the same. Yeah, and then this pawn is not enough for a win here, so this should be definitely a draw. All right, that's the easiest way, I agree. White does not have to take, but otherwise you're gonna maybe play something like this. Yeah, all right, move on. Let's see if we can find something really interesting still. A lot of rook endings, by the way.
Oh, our favorite theme, rook endings.
Yeah, what do you think about this one? Harriet Hunt versus Melissa Castrillon. White is pushing for a win. Nice move, d7. If rook takes g6, then it would have promoted. But yeah, with the rook behind the pawn, it should be more or less clear that this is winning for white, yeah?
Maybe just
play.
how to make it work. I don't like king g3. I prefer king g1.
King g1, okay. And if I play king e2?
And then I just go with g4.
Okay, takes, e3.
g5.
King ef,
It's
e1.
the question. Yeah, you want stalemate. Yeah, g6, e2, g7.
Okay, but black cannot promote, so this should be easily winning for white.
g6, e2, g7, rook d7, and queen. And rook d6 and queen g3.
It's still a draw.
It's still a draw, yeah. Rook g7. Is it rook g6?
Rook g6 should be winning still. Yeah, so that's the way to go. I like king g1 better than king g3 as well. So let's take a look at what happened after king g3, which happened in the game. So king g3, king e2, king f4, e3, g4 takes, king f2. And now the king is safe behind this king, so now the pawn can start rolling.
I think now it's a bit unclear, but what I like about this game, I love to see Hunt Harriet over the board because she stopped playing actively a long time ago, while many years ago she was actually one of the top female players.
Wait, what? Black won.
How did it happen?
Wait, what?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Oh, tricks.
Pity. Yeah.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, blunder the full rook. I guess in time trouble as well. Rook takes e3. I think white got a little. I think what did white need to do here to make
but
it?
It's not so easy. I think it was just a wrong plan to bring the king to f4 because it's difficult to play now. And maybe king e5, e2, rook d2, and then king e6.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, but here black is rook
d7. Yeah, I said and I realized it was wrong. So what's the correct plan?
It's really hard. How do you make a draw here? You can just start running, but I don't think that works. So this is losing.
Losing, that is losing. Maybe just maybe king g5 and keep on checking like rook f6.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. King g1, rook e6. If the king moves forward, then you just move the rook back, and then it's a draw. Yeah, nice. That would have been the way to go for white. Yeah, to make a draw. That's yeah, just bad luck. She played really well in this game, it seems.
Yeah, but king g5, maybe it's the only move, by the way.
Yeah, might very well be, actually. Right, let's take a look. We still got a few more games left. Let me click everything away. And once again, everybody, take the other way. Take a look on the left where you can see the score still, if you're interested in the results. Yeah, I think this is there are two games left. This is one, and this is one, but this one is a clear draw, I believe. Yeah, with the H pawn, black can never push the king out of the white can never get the king out of the corner, so this should be an easy draw. So I'm going to move on to this one. Yeah, does anybody have winning chances here?
Yeah, if we check the results, we see that Hungary and England won their matches. So,
all right.
Yeah, there were some upsetting games, but the matches are won. So, well done.
Yeah. Hungary winning the big match also against Argentina. So that is huge for the standings. And England winning Colombia also with close margin, by the way. Yeah, it's good to know that Harriet Hunt's loss wasn't a big deal because they still won the match, actually.
True.
All right. So this is the last game, except for that rook ending that we've just got. And otherwise, it'll be just... Actually, the Scotland team also has a result, I believe. As far as I can see, it's already decided 3.5, 1.5 for Scotland. And yeah, do you think that anybody has any winning chances here in this position?
If we are speaking about some winning chances, then only white can have some winning chances. I don't believe black can have some winning chances.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's very close to a draw.
Yeah, I mean, the king cannot even come over like this at some point because the bishop is covering these squares. B4 would be a counter intuitive move. So I'm actually thinking that this will be a repetition at some point where they agree to a draw. That's my guess. And actually, all the results are more or less in. I don't think we've got any matches that need to be decided anymore. And oh yeah, the rook ending that we've just got ended in a draw. So there you go, big surprise. And then this is the only game left. The last game of today, everybody. The last game that you'll see today.
Yes, maybe people are already a bit tired of watching all these games because the stream is already quite long.
For all the people who were here at the start, it's amazing that you're still watching. Thank you for watching and supporting us in our endeavor to keep you guys entertained with all these games. All right, actually, I'm gonna say let's go to a quick break because afterwards we're of course going to update you with all the standings, with all the results, but we also have once again a little surprise for you guys. So don't go anywhere. We will be back in a few minutes.
I am looking forward for a new surprise. So many surprises over the day. Stay tuned. Surprise is coming.
right, everybody, we are back, and our surprise today is actually one of the players from the England team. Welcome, Jovanka. How are you feeling about today?
Well, I'm happy because well, the team won 3 matches, and that's amazing. And I also won both my games, so also happy, because you always get like these first round nerves. You're like, oh, don't want to mess up, and especially with online chess, it's like mouse slips. Yeah, you don't want to be cursed by the online gods.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not, of course, no.
Great.
Yeah, so what do you think about the chances of the England team in this pool? Do you think you have a good chance to qualify?
Yeah, I mean, we really pulled it out of the bag actually in terms of selection. We have all our strongest players playing. Also in terms of the women as well. Harriet's come back, which I'm so happy about. It's been a long time without her on the side, and she's a great player. And Dagna is there, and Kata. So yeah, I really think that we have some great chances. Once we get used to it, I think that's the thing. You just have to get used to playing online chess and this time control.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also 15 minutes plus 5 seconds increment. Yeah, but are you worried about losing on time then with such a time control?
Yeah, always. Oh, I mean, it's a very strange time control actually, because you think you have a lot of time, and then to take my last game, suddenly I had 5 minutes left, and I thought, hang on a second, I'm still in the opening. She has 10 minutes, and then she had a long thing as well, and I'm sure she just suddenly went, oh, well, 4 minutes left. So it's not quite rapid like with the 25 minutes plus 5 minutes, but it's a weird hybrid.
It kind of is, yeah. But well, for us, it's kind of nice because then we can have like every hour some new games, But yeah, it's really something to get used to. I understand that. Like, there's a big difference between online chess, of course, and over-the-board chess. Yeah, how do you feel about that? Is this do you miss over-the-board chess actually?
Yes, I do. I was away, and I was actually doing something with a chessboard, and I realized I really miss like pushing wood. It was just unbelievable. It's just a strange sensation, because everything at home is online. When you study chess, it's always online, and so that board, and there's nothing quite like a tournament board as well, because they've really upped their game in terms of quality.
It has a different feeling to it. Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah.
Yes, Jovanka, it's so great to have you here and you talking about all your experience and how you feel by playing online and playing over the board chess. Congrats on your wins. Actually, we covered the second game with this nice sacrifice on e5 and then this Croatian attack. Congrats on that, and also congratulations on England winning all 3 matches. One more question. How are you doing during this lockdown? Because I know you started streaming too. Is it true?
Yeah, I did. That was an experiment. That was like a complete experiment to see. I did it because I was asked by my federation to start a women's team, an England women's team, and I did it to help them. And so it was an experience. It was quite fun, actually. I'm surprised at how fun it was, but then I like talking, so it always surprises me how much I like talking. I think people always like, no, stop, just. But yeah.
I think you did really well, and I would like you to continue this in case you like it, because I believe it's like an interesting activity.
Yeah, I mean, I watch your streams as well on occasion, and it's a lot of fun. It's a bit strange to begin with, with interacting with sentences rather than people, but you get used to it, and yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks. We may think about making some co-streams in the future, so yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, you've seen it first here, everybody. These two are gonna do a co-stream together.
Jovanka, you are the first woman, I think, because before only men were interviewed. So I was advocating, to bring the women to the interviews, and here we are.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah. You get to see my wallpaper. I'm sure you've seen many white rooms. You haven't seen this one.
Yeah, about that actually, I want to ask you about the format of the tournament. Do you like how it's arranged right now, the team construction?
To be honest, it's a little confusing. I mean, the whole organization for a player, it's very confusing because like normally in Olympiad, it's like, this one game per day and it's very structured. Here, it's like the pairings don't come out until 10 minutes before. I mean, it was really uncertain what dates we were going to play. I mean, that's a bit odd. And then you have these pools and everything. It takes some getting used to. So, yeah.
Well, that's going to be it for this interview. So we want to, of course, thank you very much for coming online and sharing your thoughts on the tournament, Jovanka. And of course, yeah, we wish you all the best for the future rounds. Yeah, we're definitely going to follow your games anyway. So.
Oh.
Jovanka, good luck to you and good luck to England team. We are rooted for you and we wish you all the best. Thanks for coming. Thanks for taking your time. And see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Next games.
And we are back, everybody. Yeah, for a little while. We, of course, have to still show everybody what was going on in the last few rounds. Actually, last few round, not the last few round, the last round in Pool E. Wow, this has been a long day for me. I'm already stuttering with words. But there you go. In round 3 of Pool E, these are the final results. As you can see on the left, you can see Costa Rica losing 1.5, 4.5 against Ecuador. Mexico 5-1 to Bolivia, Argentina losing 5-1 to Hungary, and Colombia losing actually 2.5, 3.5 against England, and 4-2 results, Scotland winning against Montenegro. And of course, with all these results come the standings. So let's take a look at the standings. Hungary, Ecuador, and England, the only three on a full 100% match score, followed by Colombia with 4 points, and then 4 teams with 2 points, and Montenegro and Costa Rica closing in on this. And yeah, also actually, once again, we're going to show you this really cool card we made with all the individual results bind together. So the top players with the highest percentage of score you see in the top. That's why 2 + 2 out of 2 is better than 2.5 out of 3, because we're doing it on percentage based. And yeah, in Pool D, it's currently Ekaterina Talik who's in the lead, combined with Kubra Ostürk. And in Pool E, it's Elizabeth Toro Castan, I believe, and Marta Fierro Bas. I cannot read the rest of the names, unfortunately. It's a bit too long. Okay, but yeah. Anna, I think our day is over with this. We've covered all the pools throughout the day. Yeah, how do you feel about everything?
I think it was a great stream. Before ending it, I'd like to thank our viewers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments and feedback. And I would like to thank Roland, to you too. Thank you so much for being a partner today. And we will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Central European time, and the stream will be all day long up to 9 in the evening. So yeah, same time, same place. See you there and enjoy chess.
Yeah, everybody. See you tomorrow again and have a good night.